and welcome to Hamsterless Hobby Hang. All right, we're gonna need to pull the camera back a little bit. We're experimenting today. We're gonna start migrating this stuff into the office.
We're in the wildlands.
Yeah, we're in the wildlands. I'm gonna start moving that stuff around. Let's see. All right, let's pull that back a bit.
I'm grabbing one of my younglings.
There you go. There you go. Pull that back a bit. That's a bit. That's still a bit close.
That's good.
How's audio? Let's see. Does the sound decent?
How do we sound? Everyone tell us now. Hey!
Everybody yell at us now. Is this functioning?
It's like Fievel Goes Midwest. That's what the hamster impression would be? Fievel Goes Midwest.
Sound good. Fievel Goes Midwest.
It.
Perfect. Let's see. And then we're gonna test out Sniper Cam real quick. Bam. That's gonna be where we spot things when we have like a mini to show off or something. Yeah. So we're gonna hit that spot, and that should be good.
Crush.
You've got this side by side. Oh man, that's not. Oh, this is pulling the wrong cam. All right, I'm gonna fix that real quick.
Cool.
How are we guys doing? Today we got, who do we got? We got Toby, we got Miles. The basic idea moving forward is essentially that Miles and Toby are a little quiet. All right, go for it.
Slow.
Speaking, testing.
We're talking.
I'm talking over Miles.
We're talking over each other.
All right, I might actually put a lav on Toby.
No, not the lavs.
Not the lavs.
Bum. Lav is all you
God.
need. Lavs are all you need.
It's not.
It's not.
I'm gonna boost that. I'm gonna boost that mic more.
All right.
All right. What else we got going on here?
Weird to have in the studio. I don't like change. That's fair, Hoppy Hippo.
Yeah, it's an exciting thing. So, I'm going to have some new overlays made and everything. I'm trying to figure out what it's all looking like first. Slide this over here. Okay, that cable's getting in the way, so move this cable.
How was the cider?
Pretty good.
Perfect.
Excellent.
All right.
I like the ginger.
What soda is everybody imbibing?
Youngling Black and Tan soda.
And I'm having Citizen Cider ginger infused cider soda.
I love that soda.
These are all the best sodas.
What was I doing? Right. Okay, I gotta fix it was pulling the wrong mic.
All right.
Or the wrong camera on that one thing, so I'm gonna grab this real quick.
We got a world premiere. Miles painting terrain for the first time ever. Never painted terrain before, so
yeah, it's weird that we hired you to paint when
yeah.
Just no experience, but we're
Just
like
heart,
that. Okay, so definitely one of the things we're gonna want to do.
That's how it was like that with me in sculpting, though. I didn't really have any experience, and they just made me start.
That's fair. Okay, I wonder if I got. Okay, so if we do that, that's gonna be a problem. Alright, so we won't do that one. Didn't realize Citizen Cider made it down to New York. I think it's a fairly recent thing.
I just heard Tyler was talking about it earlier, and he suggested it, so I saw it at the store, so I got it.
Yeah, we've been seeing it at
Peanutty.
Yeah, they've been having it they've been having it over there, and I've been kind of curious about it. I guess Tyler's had it before. Hello, hobby hangers. I'm wondering if maybe what I should do is. Okay, I'm gonna try.
I've never been to any cidery. I've been to Brooklyn Brewery, which was great because I love their double chocolate stout. Their double chocolate stout is excellent.
Oh, baby.
We're just throwing stuff on the ground. I've got these multicolored pieces here that I don't know that you guys can see. Okay, it looks like you can. They're my failures. We were trying to cast some stuff. Trying to match a color, and obviously I had a pretty wide range of successes and failures. So the ones that are just failed casts because of the color, I'm going to be painting now because we got nothing else to do with them. And I need something to practice painting terrain on. Man, talking is hard. Will dry brush for beer. Same, that's actually why I'm here. I mean, I purchased the beer, so like, it was a bad deal, but I'm not much of a negotiator.
Let's see. I love that concept. Just like, yeah, I'll do this thing in exchange for this thing, but it's you doing it in exchange to like pay for the thing that you're getting.
Yeah.
Okay, what's happening here? This is acting weird.
Wrote software that lets chat play D&D on Foundry VTT. That role would work. That's fun. Oh, this is almost the gray I need. Oh, it might be the gray I need. It's close. It's good enough for government work. No, I think it needs to be a little darker. Darker. 50 Shades darker.
Oh my god. Did you ever watch any of those?
No, it's just something that Ame quotes a lot, so it gets stuck in my brain.
Did she watch them?
Yeah, I think so. I think she's seen them.
I watched. There's a video series going through them. How They Hang in the Office? Yeah, we're in the office. It's a really good video series breaking down the. Just gonna check real quick. Yeah, no, that has gone out for some reason.
Which one?
Curious. The I don't know if it cable's loose or what. It's not picking up the cam link. Yeah.
That's not a good sound.
I'm just gonna keep popping it in and out until it works.
That's the extent of my technological experience. So you can ask Ame the other night. Literally, that's how I fixed our sound. She was trying to fiddle with it during the day while I was working, and then I'm like, I'll try and fix it, and that's literally all I did, and eventually it worked. Really like the Dwarf Forge terrain. A nice weight to them. Yeah, I mean, this is just resin castings. I think this is actual Dwarvenite. Yeah, this is genuine Dwarvenite. It says on the bottom. Eventually, I'll probably try and paint that. But first, I'm starting off just with these little guys. This one's a beautiful, like, mango, like a cantaloupe, maybe, color.
It's Fruitscape.
It's Fruitscape.
I just need to try out the cam link here. If I remember correctly, this is the cam link that was giving Nate trouble for a week.
Fun.
Yeah, 1 week it just wasn't working.
So it's got a
and
record.
then I got him a replacement cam link. And then
This one just started working.
it just started working again. Yeah.
Of course. Of course. Oh, good. This looks like it's going to need more than one coat. So that's going to be probably most of my night, just putting coats of this gray on this. So I'm going to really get the full terrain painting experience in terms of it being tedious.
What is the Fruitscape made out of? Resin?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like translucent resin. But like mixing the dye in the resin is a huge pain. There's not a great way to measure it out the way that we were putting it in, so trying to match the colors, especially when we didn't have a record of how we got the color the first time. And the color we were trying to match isn't even the exact color we had the first time, because we were trying to match the color that the hellscape shipped in and not the color of what we originally made the hellscape, because those are two different colors. So yeah, you know, all that wild and craziness. And but you know, there's a bunch of mistakes for me to practice painting on, so I can try and learn how to do this whole thing. I told Aaron that I really enjoyed the painting tutorial videos because I watched most of those for like Caverns and Hellscape. But I'm pretty sure she's gonna, when she sees the job that I do here, she'll be like, "Oh, you don't need to tell people you watched the tutorials I made." She'll just be so disappointed in what I end up making here that she'll want to distance herself from it. No, she never would. But
I think it might be the HDMI cable.
Still issues?
Yeah, the cam link's like gone out, so we can't really show them the stuff up close. I'm trying to figure out where in the process it's coming apart.
Or right now the stream's completely off.
No, stream's up.
streams up. It's just our close-up camera's not working. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So they won't be able to see that I'm doing a bad job. They'll just have to take it on faith.
That's really why I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to buy you some time.
saving my dignity.
What is going on?
Leaving them just like here dancing.
Yeah.
Soon. It's slowly delayed.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, so we are getting a feed. However, it's not working exactly.
It's not the feed.
It's not what we need from it.
Playing across to negative in chats like with the miniatures yesterday. I just want to say, I just want to see you guys succeed. I didn't see the stream yesterday.
Nobody was like overly negative. Vertex, you're always very supportive, and like we ask because we want to know what you guys actually want to see. Like it's
Benefit of these streams.
yeah.
What's really fun is I don't know if I mixed enough gray to cover this whole piece, so I have to try and match this gray. That's why I love mixing my own colors. There's so many more opportunities to mess up.
From here, that paint looks great. I guess that's the thing is you would probably have to shine a light through it to see if it's giving you problems. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I know it. I mean, this gray. I'm pretty happy with this gray right now. I just don't know if I have enough to actually cover this whole piece. I want to play around. I want to do like each of these in a different paint scheme.
Yeah.
Underdoomed things. They want to see underdoomed things.
They want you to paint it under. Is it Paul?
Paul. Yep.
Yep. That'll do it.
You have a reputation, Paul. You have a reputation.
I want to see the chat.
Whip out your phone
Yeah.
Why?
to see the chat.
You don't get to whip out your phone. You get to look at the computer. It's prejudice against the Toby. It's unfair.
Listen, I originally was sitting here because I thought Chris would be in the middle, so we would both be able to see. He's the one who moved me. He said Miles has to be in the middle because he's the most important. And those are his words, not mine. I didn't say that.
I wanted to be able to slip out to work on stuff like this. Man, tech is not cooperating today.
Important. Bush, how could you betray me like this? Putting Paul on blast, everyone. Better watch out. It'll be you next.
The modeling, that's in clay. So the process, I think Toby actually can walk you through the process pretty well.
So what was the question?
So the modeling, that's in clay. Then what? You slice it up into fabricatable world pieces?
No. Okay, so well, this is not what we normally do. We normally block sculpt pieces like more individually, just like how you see them. Like, for example, a dungeon wall, we just sculpted as is, and then we sculpt all around it. We mold it, and then we cast it and we paint it up, and that's how we get our prototypes.
Yeah.
But this is just, as I said, it's not a piece for the Kickstarter coming up. So this is just for me to like.
He's
Just
honing
to
his
do.
edge. He's
That's,
honing his instrument.
yeah, just to practice and stuff like that, and just we wanted to just do a big piece. So this is more of a diorama type piece rather than like all our normal pieces.
Man.
And it's turning out very cool. I'm a big fan of it, I must say.
I finally got to show Nate today.
Yeah, I'd love to show you all close up, but
Nope.
The close-up
Don't show
camera
me.
doesn't
I'm
like
ugly.
it.
what is going on?
Watching this while setting up filming equipment at work gives me a wonderful sense of schadenfreude. Yeah.
Well,
Listen, we're here. We're having tech problems, so you don't have to.
this is
Someone's tech has to be going wrong, you know?
Is there
so annoying.
is there a Twitch stream or something like that where someone just everything's going wrong and their life is miserable, so people watching it feel good about themselves?
That's a lot of streamers, honestly.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Schadenfred. I'm Schadenfrederick.
Man. Okay.
Schadenfrederick is my new favorite character.
Yeah,
He's
I
the
love
greatest
it.
character that we've ever created. He's my next D&D character. He's a I'm trying to think of what class he would be in. I'm drawing blanks here. Well, if he's a streamer, he'd be a bard.
I feel like it's such a cop out.
Yeah.
You say that to me, who's literally made up a bard who was a vlogger. So you're right.
No, just like
To quote my fiance, drag him.
no, just like any kind of artistic field, it's always like, well, they must be a bard. It's like, come on.
I did want to make a fighter who like just traveled collecting stories and like writing songs. Like their job was being a minstrel, but their class was a fighter.
Yeah.
That was my backup character
don't
for our
need to use,
campaign for a while.
You don't need to use your like, bard-like skills in fighting or
Exactly. They don't have magical music. They don't make magic with music. They just
Yeah.
make music. Oh, it is a little lizard. Okay, I didn't know there was still a
Oh, the
lizard in these
lizards. Okay, yeah.
pieces.
Pizzas.
Pizzas. So the piece I'm doing right now wasn't actually a color issue. Yep.
Sorry,
I double checked.
I know,
with
but
Nate.
no, I know, no, I have no problem with that. I was going to suggest that you paint them like pizza.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Pizza dungeon.
Yeah. The piece right here that I'm messing with right now, it wasn't even a color match issue right away. That is we cast them and then realized I realized the mold that I was casting them from was an old mold. It wasn't the final version.
Yeah, so that one initially if you can hold it up, but oh sorry,
It's fine.
that's the concave passage, I think,
Yeah.
piece, and then originally it had a big like opening on the back, but we also wanted it to be used as a concave wall, and then it didn't line up with the walls, so we had to fill that in. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have these old ones, which is fun. But it's nice to know that there's still a lizard on it, because I was kind of bummed.
No, we haven't heard anything about Stefan's game. We're not really associated with that. Like, I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Huh.
Let's see.
I want to read the chat. That's not fair.
You can pull it up on your telephone.
You could also you could go over to the you could just go over to my chair while I'm not using
You know
it.
what?
Yeah, be Chris.
I want to. I just want to say that I'll put on the hat, but I don't need to. I'm already. Chris.
You already have his hat.
Yeah. Hi.
You got a cabbie hat and a hoodie. That's a grade A plus.
Yep, I'm Chris right here.
That's an S class Chris cosplay right there.
Cabbie Hat Gang.
Cabbie hat gang. Cabbie hat brigade.
Well, we just might not
Have close up cam. Then they'll never know I'm bad.
it's not working today.
Well, it's bad.
It's banned.
Oh, I just got a text from my stunning fiance. She's vaguely tuned in. Hi,
That's
Ame.
nice.
I didn't mean to put you on blast literally on stream like that, but clearly I did. I think hobby hang is I think being vaguely tuned in is exactly what hobby hangs are the best for, you know?
Yeah, the whole point is that you're supposed to be making stuff while we make stuff. you
Yeah.
know?
You guys can hobby and hang as well.
Yeah. Is the store up? Yeah, the store's up. Let's see. Did somebody change sides or did the image flip? I
Change
don't know what
sex.
you're talking about.
I'm Mirror Toby.
He's Dark Toby.
No,
He's-
actually, not like Toby. Dark Toby was what I was normally. I've been in prison in the mirror since I was 4.
Since you were 4, that's the
Yeah.
plot of a horror film I was in. It's not.
Wait,
It's kind of close though.
Wait, are you talking about the one that I watched when I was down in South Carolina?
Yeah, with the monster mirror trapped in the thing.
Yeah.
The one that had a plot, I think.
Oh my
It just
God.
didn't want to tell you it. It just didn't want to tell you what the plot was.
I'm sure that movie had a lot of things going on. You know?
They were going on. I'm sure they were there. I'm certain of it.
There were definitely things there. That man had people say words on camera.
Listen, it was a paycheck. It was technically 2 paychecks for me because they paid me to act and they bought the rights to one of my songs. So you can't hate that. You have to love it. I'm contractually obligated to love it.
Was that the 3rd paycheck?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna just change over to the other camera and see if that fixes it.
They were all of them deceived. For there was a 3rd final paycheck that ruled over the other different paychecks. So not all of them except for all of the different cavern paint sets, the base layer is supposed to be this color. Like they're meant to be, like even the ice is a heavy dry brush over this to start. So if I can get everything about that color, except for one, if I want to do one in Hellscape, I'd need a different starter piece because none of these are Hellscape colored.
And also, Housecape is not a good one to start.
No, that's a later endeavor
Yeah.
for sure.
Is there something wrong with starting with Hellscape?
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
How's it going, by the way?
It's definitely very tedious, but it's going well.
I mean, he also is not using any translucent paints or anything, so.
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
Do you paint minis?
I've painted minis on 2 occasions. I've
Yeah,
painted
same.
my mini for my campaign that I'm in with Chris and Tyler, and I also painted some minis from my Last Night on Earth board game for fun. For the last time I was on Hobby Hang, which was like, was that Thanksgiving?
Yep, that was Thanksgiving because I went over to your place and we did Hobby Hang from there.
Yeah.
And that's where I painted the first Ragecraft orc.
Yeah. So I've done a little bit. I should, but so my instinct is to leave the yellow on this because it's see-through, so it'll be a cool like liquid. But generally speaking, they do paint over it and then use
But- Also, keep in mind that like if you paint everywhere around it, it's going to look a lot darker. It's not going to look as translucent.
It's true. It's true. I might paint that. I'll paint that last and make a decision later. This one has some pools, but I'm just gonna. Whatever. Just put paint on the thing. That's how you paint, guys. You just put paint on the thing.
I don't want to keep this right next to the computer and everything.
Next to my boots? Just kidding. I'm not. These were not expensive boots. And the secret of cowboy boots is the dirtier they get, the cooler they are. That's how you know how cool a cowboy boot is. By how dirty it is.
I don't know what kind of dirty it is. So.
That's fair. That's reasonable. There's rankings. If it's dirt, it's like, C class cool, like average standard. If it's like genuine grade A horse poop, that's S class,
What about blood?
Oh, that's B tier.
They use like the what's the thing called on the back of the cowboy boots?
Spurs. Oh
Use
yikes!
spurs
No,
to, like,
yeah.
Kill,
Never mind. That sucks. Spurs
no,
are the
not
worst.
Not horses. You use that as your attack weapon. So
Attack weapon.
You're kicking cowboy.
So you're doing like roundhouse kicks to zombie heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop kicks.
Yeah.
And it's like and it's motorized.
Yeah.
So you like can chase along them.
Man, this would be a good like B horror action film.
Let's make it.
Let's
Roundhouse
do it.
Kicks to Zombie Heads sounds like a Panic at the Disco song title.
Yes.
I went down wrong hole.
It happens to me so often, it's insane. And I know it's because I consume liquids too quickly, but it's still frustrating.
Yeah, and every time I'm coughing these days, I feel like scared that people are going to think otherwise. Like,
Yeah. It's a dangerous world to have a cough in.
coffin or coffin?
Both. Though if you have your coffin in advance, that's just like prudent, you know?
And then what just like making wills is.
Yeah, but like, well, not really. It's like it's in the same category because like it's like prepping. You know, I wonder how many Doomsday preppers prep for that part of Doomsday, the part where they're definitely not going to make it, so they have a coffin.
But that's
prepped.
also like assuming that you want to get a full-on funeral.
It's true. So just like have the coffin in the backyard, like in the hole, so they just have to toss you in, shut the door, and bury it. You know, kind of thing you could do quick while you're running away from the monster aliens.
Monster aliens?
Yeah. I have boots and spurs. I should post a picture on Discord. Do it. I do not own any spurs. I currently have 3 pairs of cowboy boots. I try and keep it at 3. So when I get a new pair, I get rid of whatever ones are in the worst shape. But I try to keep it down to 3. But I don't own any spurs. I've never needed them. Like all the riding I've done, spurs were never necessary. Never a necessary part of that.
Spurs are there to like kick the horse
Yes.
and like stab them.
Yeah, it's just to add like
Yeah.
a bit of a bite. So none of the horses I've never had to like break a horse. So I don't know like how necessary that is, but in this day and age it probably isn't for the most part, you know? Like the most a horse is really misbehaved around me is when it likes to like kick down its fence.
It's also probably that it's when spurs were used more often, like back in those cowboy times, they didn't really care about animal cruelty.
Yeah, so that's one thing. But so on the one hand, yeah, less like animal cruelty laws and less like, people finding out about it and canceling you on Twitch or whatever.
Yeah, I bet you cowboys were.
But like the thing is, that's your livelihood. Like you should take as good a care of your horse as you would a car. Specifically, a car.
As you would a car.
Yeah, but like as you would a car, specifically if you were like a delivery person. Because like it's not just like your mode of transportation. For like
a
cowboys
trucker,
specifically, yeah, it's your livelihood. Like that's it. That's your whole. That's like your whole thing. You use that horse.
Down there, and just need to put it back.
No worries at all.
I don't want to like have it accidentally kicked over.
Dwarven cowboy sounds like a fun character. Yes, honestly, yes. Different types of spurs. Most of them are blunt and are necessary when you're a very small person on a very large horse. See, that does make some sense to me. It's like when I was like, because most of the riding I did was like at summer camp. Like I did riding at summer camp, and then like when I grew up, I like instead of being a camper, I like worked at the summer camp. So like when you're little, they only put you on very well behaved horses, and you're just following the horse's butt in front of you. And by the time I was riding any of the horses that did have behavioral issues, I was tall, so it never was an issue for us. But no, that does make sense to me.
Okay, so we got the close-up cam working.
Thanks for the info, Gilded Poison. Can you gild liquids?
I'm not sure. That might also be the point of her name.
It's entirely possible. Also, like, I mean, I suppose like poison isn't necessarily a liquid.
That's also valid, I suppose. I have surprisingly little experience with poison.
Well, it's a good thing you weren't in, I want to say like 17th century France, but I'm literally pulling that century out of my butt.
I'm sorry, did people in 17th century France just have to use poison all the time?
There was a chunk of time in like, I think it was the French courts, where there was just like, poison was just fucking going around. It was just a very, very fun and popular hobby.
I don't know if that's how you could gild mercury, apparently.
Lit. That's some alchemist stuff there.
I'm gonna put this in close on your hands while I do some.
Oh, look, this is going. It's happening.
Go ahead and show up. Yeah, just... Alright.
This was the first one I did. Mostly got covered in a single coat. This one is not getting coated in a single coat. It's harder to tell on camera though, so you guys can pretend I'm doing a good job.
Please do.
You just
Alright.
want attention. From Texas, Ken can from our Ubers, our horses. Listen, I love horses. I'm a horse boy. I can't help that. It's a fact.
Yeah, can confirm. Big horse guy over here.
Big horse guy. Got big horse energy. I was always like adamant that like I was one of those zombie escape kids like in high school and stuff. I did my demonstrative speech for class on how to survive a zombie apocalypse, and I thought I was extra clever because I did a demonstrative speech that was demonstrative. Because yeah, so I thought I was very, very clever. But I was always very adamant that the best vehicle in a zombie apocalypse would be a horse, because grass grows itself, and gas does not. And also, if you fall asleep at the wheel of a horse, it won't run you off a cliff. So those are just some of the benefits of using a horse as your zombie survival vehicle, folks.
Okay.
You know, your car has an extra set of ears to listen for all the spooky zombie moans.
And it's edible, apparently.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, you got emergency rations just in case.
It's true.
All right. Well, we're half hour into it. Maybe I can start painting. We have something technically functioning right now. And cut to that. Yeah. Okay. I think that works fairly well. I'm gonna have some new overlays made for this. I'm just trying to figure out what the best layout would be. I think the thing is, I think this wants to be like a 2-table setup or something. Like if you want to have multiple people at least. So I think that's the main issue I'm having, is trying to fit everybody on in like a widescreen format is hard. So we'll need different overlays. Like we can't use the same kind of overlays that we used for the remote version of this. Because before it was like you're just capturing different like feeds.
Yeah.
Here, probably what I have to do, well, I could do something similar to that actually, and just put everybody inside their own window, potentially.
That might be fun.
Yeah.
It's working now?
Yeah. Got it all functioning.
I'm going to spill some cider on it right now.
Please
Just
don't.
I do what I want.
Please don't.
He does do what he wants, though. I've heard that about him.
Does, man. He does, though.
But do I actually end up doing what I want?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. Should I paint the bottom of this?
Can I move this?
You don't need to. Yeah. Actually, I'll put that away.
I
Yeah,
don't
but the
want this.
bread seems to come through a lot.
I said the bread.
The bread seems to come through a lot. Let's let that dry and then throw another coat on there in a bit.
Yeah, you'll probably need to do multiple layers.
Okay.
Am I still on the camera?
We don't know. They're looking at my hand, my giant
Two
veiny
tables,
hand.
Two tables, two people
Why?
per camera face, one close-up camera person. You guys have 6 cameras sitting around, right?
It's monkey.
30 monkeys.
That's what I thought you were saying.
One
Like,
monkey.
it's 2 people, 2 cameras.
You're
Monkey.
Monkey. Let's see. 6 cameras sitting around. We've got 2 good webcams and then the 2
I can't see if I'm in.
DSLRs.
Put your armor stick and hold it in front of your horse. No longer need to feed it. No downside. It's fair. Listen, zombie. So, I mean, it depends. So, I did all of my zombie preparation based on specifically the World War Z and Zombie Survival Guide stuff.
Because I was able to see the things for that.
And Zombie Survival Guide. So, in that lore, specifically, animals cannot turn.
Thanks.
They will be killed. Like, the virus will kill them. So, like, a single bite will kill them. Surely, a single bite will turn you. But
I thought you were saying that animals cannot turn left or right.
no, they can't turn into zombies.
You have a horse to go straight, you have a horse to go left.
So we had a horse at camp that we called Derek. It was short for Derek Zoolander, and it couldn't turn left.
My cat's named Zuli because he can't turn left. So it's short for Zoolander.
It genuinely, legitimately couldn't turn left?
It just took a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
It just did not like to turn left.
Yeah. My cat has a tumor on the left side of her brain, I think. So all the senses on her left side are just like, she can't see as well on the left side, so she automatically just tries to turn right on everything.
So for her, it's defense. It's survival
Not defense,
instinct.
but just like, yeah, I guess.
It's so wild.
Yeah.
Man.
Can't have your weaker side facing the enemy.
In an ideal world, we would just have...
We would all have horses.
In an ideal world, we would all have horses. Yeah. No, I'm just thinking, like, it'd be really nice to be able to, like, leave a kind of permanent setup situation.
Yeah.
Like
Have like a hobby hang space.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, part of what I'm wondering is if it's actually best for us to do it out of this room or to set it up somewhere else in the office.
But if we set up another place in the office, then it's another thing, like dedicated area that we need more space for.
Yeah.
So, right now, I don't think it's a...
That's the thing, right? Is like there's...
If we had all the space in the world, yes, that would be great.
There's only so much office.
Yeah.
Even with all our new office.
That is true. We're doing a lot of moving tomorrow,
Much,
actually.
Like, yeah, I guess something as in... Yeah. I can't say anything. I'm not helping with that. I don't get to wear this shirt.
You don't get a Sludge Monk shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're doing a big move. On top of everything else right now, we got an extra space. And so we're gonna have like all of that now.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we're testing out everything, Commerce Demon. We're testing out, making sure that when Hamster can be here for an in-person hobby hang, it's perfect, you know?
Yeah. It's a thing where it's like, you know, we've been looking at it and like we've been needing to do it anyways. So then it was a thing where it's like, well, we probably wouldn't have a hobby hang if we were doing it remote. So it's like, you know what, let's go ahead and go live. Maybe we won't do the full time, maybe there'll be some tech issues. But let's just go ahead and like start figuring out what it looks like to do the hobby hang here. So that's what today is we're just kind of figuring that out. And one of the things I'm noticing is, unless we have somebody who isn't hobbying to be in control of all the tech stuff, it gets more complicated. Which is why it'd be nice to be able to just have like a area set up, or even just to have things in here set up that can be kind of permanent. I don't know. Just to make it like
Sorry.
easier.
I need to do this. I'm doing the carpet texture, so I need to warm up the carpet.
You need to warm up the... Oh, that makes it easier to sculpt or something?
Yeah, because the clay was really hard before.
So I have the clay oven by my desk.
Yeah. And I heard that paper towels is good for getting texture.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, so you're like dimpling it with the paper towels?
Nothing happened so far.
Huh.
I'll have to blast some more. Sorry for the noise pollution, guys.
Let's go!
Let's go. Pollute the...
For y'all working from your home craft areas. And I mean, maybe we'll end up doing that, but the cats will not still interrupt the stream, although maybe dogs will.
Yeah. It'd be good if
What?
dogs.
Yeah, maybe dogs will interrupt us.
Yeah, and I don't have a home craft area really.
Yeah,
so.
we have office dogs. It's definitely... Let's go ahead and move that can so we can...
Oh. You don't want to watch my sing cider?
No, I want to watch you dry that clay.
Wet that clay.
Wet that clay.
Because it's like the opposite of clay normally. Clay, normally you heat it up to make it dry, like hard and dry, but this one, cold makes it dry.
So the downside to doing the hobby hang remote is if we start being in the office more often, the odds of us being at home to do it remotely go down, you know?
So you have to, like, I have to leave early to go home and get set up to stream.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a huge amount of sense.
Yeah, the justification before was that we're all working from home anyways. So it doesn't really take any extra time for us to do that. But if we're working from the office, I don't know, and that's the thing. Maybe we do end up still doing it remotely. It's honestly hard to tell. For the moment, though, we wanted to at least try this out and deal with the realities of what trying to do that stream. That's another thing, is we've done painting streams from the office before, but they weren't set up like the hobby hang. The volume of people, the amount of things we were trying to show, all that jazz.
Yeah.
So it might just be not as well set up for I don't know. It's entirely possible that we're just not as well set up for doing the hobby hang from here, in which case then we need to think about what we do. But who knows?
Huh.
Point is,
That works, but
wouldn't know until we try it.
if I can do it better, I use the sleeve.
Oh.
You used your sleeve?
Yeah, because the paper towel wasn't really. Oh, I could use a bag.
You quilted northern, then it'll look like a quilt. That might be how sculpting works. I know nothing about sculpting.
You just combine the clay with things that are named like the properties that you want it to have?
Right. So I would combine it with fire energy.
It's like a weird Scribblenauts game.
Yeah.
This is monster clay, so they combine it with monsters, right?
Right. So if I want fire energy, I would need like a flame atronach or
What?
It's
Flame Atronach?
Atronach. It's something you summon in Skyrim. I've been playing too much Skyrim VR, you guys. I've been playing with the Skyrim VR mods. It's very fun. And I'm making a wizard character because the coolest mods are stuff for wizards.
Skyrim is the best game its developers didn't make.
I've been thinking about this, and honestly, at this point, it feels a lot like Dungeons and Dragons. You know, like they built this basic rule set, and they have some built-in modules. But then you have other people who, like, if they're making quest mods, they're like writing their own modules or they're DMing their own campaigns. And the people who do like visual stuff are like people who make, they're like what they do, like what Jess does, that sort of thing, you know.
It's fair. They don't know who Jess is.
They don't. Jess Pendley,
Jess Pendley.
with Underground Oracle. So like what they do. You know, which I think is neat, and that's the thing for me. The reason it appeals to me is because one, it's what, like the biggest open fantasy world in VR that I can currently be in, and the fact that there are so many people making mods for it means that there's a lot of fun new stuff to try out. That even like if they had developed a Skyrim type game for VR, they might not have even tried. Like the gestures, the gesture control spell stuff that I've been playing with is really cool. But something they might not have ended up going with, even if they had developed a game from the ground up for VR. So it's neat being able to see that kind of experimentation, because the modding community doesn't care as much about, you know, like the mass market and sellability of the stuff they're adding to the game.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not like they're making their living off of their mods.
Yeah. I have a quest I really want to try, because apparently it's won a bunch of awards. Which I didn't know there were any for mods. But it won a bunch of awards for like writing and stuff, and I'm like, yeah. It's called like the Lost City or something. Sounds fascinating. It adds a whole new city to the map, which there's definitely enough empty space to add whole new cities to that map.
That is entirely valid.
But yeah. Most stuff I play right now is where they add stuff to the Mage College, because that's my favorite part of Skyrim, is the Mage College stuff.
So you're actually looking for mods that add like compelling content as opposed to memes.
Yeah. No, I don't do any of like the turn all the dragons into Thomas the Tank Engine or anything like that.
Then you're not playing Skyrim right.
I never claimed to be playing Skyrim correctly, but I am playing Skyrim.
Don't worry, that was coming from a person who never really played Skyrim, so I don't have a right to talk.
I get that.
I played 20 hours of it like the year it came out, and it was like I just don't like it, and never touched it again.
So 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a tiny 8-year-old.
You know we're never gonna get Grand Theft Auto 6. They're just gonna keep re-releasing Grand Theft Auto 5 until the end of time.
I mean, that's like saying it's the same argument of Half-Life 3.
Well, no, they're not.
We got a new Half-Life game.
We did. They're
Yeah.
not re-releasing Half-Life
not
2 over
Half-Life.
and over again.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you played Half-Life, Alex?
No, I haven't. That's
It
a VR
slaps. It slaps so hard. Come on over. Come over and play
one.
Half-Life
Yeah, I
Alex
wanna
sometime.
play it.
Honestly,
that's a VR one, right?
yeah, it's very cool. It's like one of the like for people who are like there are no like full completed AAA VR titles. That's the biggest argument. The other two are Boneworks and Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. If anyone in the chat has VR questions, I can ramble about VR for hours.
And he
He
will.
does every day.
every day.
And he will.
So, but yeah, no, it's they really crushed it with Half-Life Alex, which makes sense because like it's one. I feel like they're one of the few like game studios, if you can still call Valve a game studio, who like spent a lot of time with the hardware of VR. Like they helped develop other VR hardware and then develop their own before they ever made a VR game. So they like had a huge understanding of what works in VR and what doesn't, in a way that other developers simply didn't necessarily. Oh, that looks awesome.
Oh, it's not on. But
What's not on? What do you got?
I was able to do a quilted type of pattern. I don't know if you can see
It's
it.
like a like one of those like cool like knit. Like knit's the wrong word, but
It's very fine, so it's hard to see. Like I can't see it from the big screen, so probably.
You can definitely see the texture in it.
Okay, it's like I use the paper towel, or the napkin already has this like texture that's almost like a carpet. So I grabbed these off your desk. I'm sorry.
that's a-okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try to continue with that, but I don't know what the pattern is starting and continuing. So I might have messed up.
I think it's one of the basic problems with this setup too, is trying to highlight everything that everybody's doing is difficult. Whereas when we're doing it remote,
You can just hold it up to your.
yeah, everybody's got their own camera. Yeah.
Yeah. That does make sense. There's a sense to that.
So we'll need to rethink that.
We just wire it up. So we have something like the Stream Deck, but we have a different setup for each painter. And then, no, here's how we do it. I don't know how we'd rig this up. We set it up so everyone has a face camera and a close-up camera. And then we have the chat be able to like spend points to change cameras.
That sounds horrendous.
So
Yeah,
that the
that's
chat
horrible.
can vote on like, oh no, I want to see a close up of what Hamster's doing, or I want to see Chris's face, you know, and then they can fight over it while we're all hobby hanging.
And
Dead pixels on the camera? I hope there's not dead pixels on the camera.
On that, but I need
Lower
to
the
play
camera.
it.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Which one? Which one? Vertex artist. Do you have who you need to play?
I'm pretty sure he's talking about
Alex.
yeah.
Alex is good. It's scary though. And this is I'm a little baby who doesn't love horror games. Well, I like them, but I'm also very afraid of them. And Half-Life Alex isn't even like a full horror game, right? But there are definitely some scary parts where like it gets dark and then there's face huggers. But like even like there are times when I've been where I'm like in Fallout 4 VR and like the very start of Fallout 4 VR where you first get power armor and you end up fighting those death guys, those death claws, like on a pancake like when I'm playing it like flat on a PC, like that does not spook me. But like being in VR, even that scenario that I've played through several times will like get my heart pumping a little bit.
Yeah, I feel that.
So like, or like when I'm in Skyrim, like early in the game, like I saw a dragon flying overhead, and I was like early in the game, the dragons are not hard, you know. So like it's not something that's generally scary, but like just being in VR makes it more intense.
I haven't done VR much, but like I know what you mean. Like even if there's slight like change in how you perceive things. Like for example, when I was back with the 3DS, I remember like I was playing one of them like 3D Land or something like that.
Mario 3D Land?
Yeah, but when there's one part where it's like the camera's looking down and you can see the how high you are, like you got a real sense of like.
Dude, there's a
That's fun.
Yeah.
there's a level in Katamari that starts off with you just like dropping like 500 feet, and that still gets me.
I want to play Katamari in VR.
It's like in the third person. Everything. Oh, dude, Katamari in VR would be phenomenal or awful. It'd be an experience either way, I think is the thing. Dragons are hard, they're kind of just pains in the ass.
Apparently the camera all in has spots.
That would have surprised me. I think these webcams are starting to go out. We might need to get new ones. In an ideal world, we would just have all DSLRs. But there's a lot of equipment upgrades I would like to do. But it's about having the money and then convincing people that it's the appropriate way to spend that money.
Yeah.
I need to get a better webcam for home.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much I'm going to need it anymore.
That's the thing, right? Webcams are probably going to be easier to get now, but it's because nobody's going to need them anymore.
I mean,
funny how
it
that
makes it
works.
sound like it was hard to get because of high demand.
Yeah.
I don't think that was really... Actually,
I think there's probably some of that.
I never even thought about it. Was there high demand for webcams that made it up?
Yeah, back when the
Hard to
pandemic
buy?
first started, like it was very notable. Logitech sold out of their webcams.
I remember going to the grocery stores and seeing the empty toilet paper aisle and then the empty webcam aisle.
Yeah.
People gotta be able to stream their toilet paper. Yeah, Logitech sold out of their stuff real fast, and like a bunch of third-party like knockoff webcam companies started showing up on Amazon like because of it.
Yeah, that's
You know?
what I got.
Yeah, so there was a serious supply and demand issue with webcams when the pandemic started because suddenly everybody needed to do remote classes and meetings and stuff like that.
I've never played a remote class. I'm more of a caster guy myself.
Also, no one was producing anything then. Yeah, that's another thing. Is also a lot of tech production slowed down a lot. They just weren't making things as fast as they used to,
Yeah.
given everything.
Yeah.
So, current stock being bought up along with production going down. It's not a great look for. It was really hard to like get decent, because that was the thing is we ended up getting a bunch of knockoffs because you just straight up couldn't find Logitech webcams when we were looking around Wildlands time. When we were doing all of the Wildlands streams, we had to get these knockoffs because Logitech was just gone.
I didn't even think about that. That makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
They've got like 4 or 5 like Nexago webcams or something, and they would last like a month before they'd go out, and they weren't bad when we had them, but then we started getting like weird issues with them, and we're back to using like all Logitech now, which is nice.
I guess that's what's happening with the webcam I had that like had high pitched noise in the background.
Yikes.
Oh, that I don't know about. I don't know what the deal with that was. Oh, well,
the-
you shouldn't be using a webcam's onboard mic in the first place. I think is the main thing.
Yeah, I changed it around so it wasn't doing it, but
Yeah, like they're most likely not going to have reliable microphones on the webcam. It's always like a secondary thing. I'm talking like we were getting like weird frame issues, and one of them just like stopped giving us like actual widescreen aspect ratios.
That's...
Yeah, it was
lands.
running tech through Wildlands was like fascinating. People were scalping webcams at that point as well. Yeah, that's also like a very frustrating thing that happens. You know how long I've been trying to get a graphics card?
I blame Elon Musk personally.
Him pushing Bitcoin.
Yeah, just all cryptocurrency. I blame all cryptocurrency.
I mean, I feel like
And I blame Elon Musk for cryptocurrency. I blame all cryptocurrency for the difficulty in graphics cards. I don't know enough about any of that situation to know if any of it's true, but that's where I put my personal blame, you know?
No, crypto was largely responsible for the GPU shortage, because people were just they were bulk buying all the high-end parts so that they could crypto mine like more efficiently.
How does crypto mining even work? I always got confused with that because I know
A computer, literally, you just set up computers to start folding algorithms.
Yeah, but like,
It's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. But that's the reality. Is people were making like just these huge like crypto farms with tons of computers, tons of high-end computers running as hot as they could to mine crypto as fast as they could, and that led to it being very difficult to get high-end GPUs.
only that it's damaging
And then the
the
pandemic hit and production slowed down and it got even worse. So an old graphic card for a great deal. Look, man, I just want to get a 3060. I just want a 3060. I've been trying to get one for what feels like a year at this point. Nvidia is now making graphics cards that are specifically targeted at preventing crypto mining. Good. The bright side they're supposed to be producing. Oh, that's the same thing. That's good. Another thing though is because of that they need better anti-scalping measures too. That's been like a really frustrating part of it.
everything.
Is the problem with the 3060 is every time they've gone up, they haven't had any measures in place to prevent people from scalping them. So as soon as they would go live, like genuinely within seconds, they'd be bought out by bots, basically.
I mean, does scalping hurt them in any way? Their stuff's being purchased. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, asking them to take measures against it, it would be just for the goodwill of the public. But if, like, time and time again they've proven they don't need the goodwill of the public to sell out as soon as they have these things, there isn't a huge motivation for them to do it, which is a cynical way of looking at it. But
I just think people should be nice.
Hey, it just
I agree.
it drives up the demand, so it works for them.
It does.
Yeah, but
Just
they're not the
take it
ones profiting off of that demand.
They are.
They're
They
not
they
selling at
sell-
the higher prices. Like they make that money whether it's being sold to a scalper or not,
No.
which
but-
is the point.
If they didn't have that demand, more product will.
A
the
$400
long run.
Switch. Were people weren't scalping Switches, right? People were scalping
Oh,
PS5s.
yeah. People were scalping Switches. Early pandemic? Yeah, people were
Oh,
scalping
I guess early
Switches.
pandemic. I didn't even think about that. I got mine launch day, so I didn't even like I pre-ordered it as soon as it was available.
I had to fight tooth and nail for my Switch. I was checking like 8 websites 8 times a day because I didn't buy a Switch until pandemic hit.
That's
And
true.
I ended up getting like a refurbished GameStop Switch, and I love it very much. It's my tiny baby child.
That's true. You got it during the pandemic. Chelsea got a Switch during the pandemic.
I got
She
an
bought
Omni one.
She bought somebody's used Switch Lite. So she kind of avoided that situation.
That's smart. We didn't want a Lite because me and Ame wanted to play multiplayer games. Then I bought her her own Switch, but we're still glad we have regular Switches because we like to play on the TV even when we're playing multiplayer. We've just been playing Rayman Legends. It's a good game.
Yeah, it really is. Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends are just solid platformers.
Yeah. We played through Untangled 2 or Untangled 2 and we had a lot of fun. I'm like, okay, if you're into this, you're gonna love some Rayman. Let's dive in. So
I'm glad I don't really want a PS5 yet. Like, it's one of those things where, like, they don't have enough games yet where I'm like, yeah, I need to have one. Like, they've got Miles Morales, which I do want to play at some point, but, like, I 100%ed Spider-Man PS4, like, a year ago. I'm a little spidered out.
I get that.
So I can wait to do Miles Morales.
The one thing that made me want a PS4 was PSVR. I know they're working on second generation PlayStation VR for the PS5, and if they manage to fix their controller issues, because their controllers are rubbish, it'd be something I was tempted to do, you know?
What's wrong with the controllers?
So actually, their whole tracking setup's a little rough. It doesn't show up very often because most of their games are built for their platform specifically. So most of their games will be like seated and you'll be facing forward, with just like not leaving like that 90-degree space. So using the front sensors is usually fine, but it uses light tracking for the PlayStation Move controllers, for the controllers.
Oh.
So if it loses sight of that, or you have like weird lighting or anything, you can start to get issues.
That's really weird.
Also, it's the PlayStation Move controller, which is like like even just from like a controller design
those
standpoint.
still exist.
Yeah.
That's the one with the stupid
Yeah, the
color.
ball.
The ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's from like years ago.
From unfortunately, like,
It was a PS3 thing, right? It was them going like, wow, people really like the Wii.
yeah, literally.
What if we just added their
It's
controllers
like-
to a system and games that aren't made for it?
Yeah, it's the PlayStation Wii, and it's because that was when everyone was flirting with it, right? Because
Yeah.
the PlayStation 2 had a camera system thing. I don't even remember what it was called, but I remember
iToy?
having it. Yes, the iToy.
iToy.
I had it for like
You could
very short time.
there was like a wizard game. It was a tech demo. Everything on it was tech demos. There was one game that was like you could draw the PlayStation symbols like X, triangle, circle, square, and cast spells. But there wasn't a game for it. It was just like it was using like basically it was like a little augmented reality title, in that you saw yourself and you would draw things and then magic would happen. There was one game I had that was like a hoverboarding game that would like you
Yeah.
would lean left and right
That
and
was
like you
massive.
would use your hands to like grab coins. That was pretty fun. But again, it felt like a demo. Not so much a tech demo the way a lot of VR titles can, but that one just felt like only like a third of a game.
Yeah, that one was like the killer app for the iToy, and it was not a full game.
Yeah. Whereas like with PlayStation VR, I feel like they sunk enough money into the hardware that they felt compelled to make some really solid software for it. Because I feel like the one benefit PlayStation VR has is they had more like money to throw around in terms of making software. You know, because like with all the PC VR headsets, the people making the headsets weren't making the games. They're like, we made a headset, now someone else make games to play for it. Whereas PlayStation had all of the onus on themselves to do that, so they put the resources into making sure they had full titles.
Band of Badgers, thank you for the raid.
Hey,
Whoa.
Yeah.
we got raided by badgers. Is any of your
just
little
feel better.
animals a badger?
The closest thing I've got is a raccoon.
Oh, I thought that guy might be a badger. What's that guy?
He's a sloth.
Oh,
That's for the
okay.
game?
Yeah, these are for the game on Saturday.
Nice.
So I'm not doing like incredibly in-depth paint jobs. Speed painting for the most part. This one's a player mini. I guess yeah. Let's go ahead and like center the camera on that. Show like what I'm doing so far.
How long do you think these will take to dry?
Well, you're using paints that I don't like.
No, yeah, that's fair. Could I use that to dry them, or is that not going to work?
Maybe. I don't know I don't know paint logic.
Anyone out there know Paint Logic? I'm just waiting for the Xbox Series X. I think Game Pass is pretty awesome. That's fair. Oh, put names in the overlay in case you want to ask questions of someone specifically. That's so fair. Right now you can differentiate us by our hats. The ones who have the cabbie hats are the Cabbie Hat Brigade, and the one with the skull on his hat is Miles.
We actually only respond to hey cabbie hat guy. So
But they both respond every time, so.
yeah. See, that's gonna be a problem.
What?
Alright.
Yeah, running those is weird because that's another thing is like when we're doing it remote, like we can just like mute when we're
Yeah, exactly. That's why I felt really weird doing it right here. But like,
Pint and Pie asks, Claymaster, how much detail will you put on that model? What's the resolution?
detail what I put on the model. I don't know. I'm just trying to do it at like every surface of it, at least like not left like bare. So
So just
I don't know
just
what-
enough. Sounds like the right amount.
he's doing it for fun, so I think he's just kind of going until he feels like he's done.
yeah, like I just want to get like all aspects of it, like at least like yeah. The carpet was bare for a long time, so I'm trying to do that now. Like the bottom, under the floorboards were bear. And then once I do that, like there's some other bear parts around. And then I'll
Like the
probably
claws or the
What?
fur? What bear parts are you using?
the tongues,
Oh, the tongues. Using bear
Yes.
tongues. That's a good way to get rug
bear
texture.
arms.
Bear arms, yep.
Yeah, guns.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
Always.
She had a floorboard hidden compartment.
I do actually, kind of. If you look, I need to like refine it and like blast out the heat, but right under the rug, it's like moved up a little bit, and then you can see what's called a trapdoor that's opened.
That's fun.
You can see the metal handle of it, and then you can see the hole under it.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So I was trying to do something like that. Yeah.
Fun. Fun, fun, fun. Your daddy took the T-bird away.
What?
It's a Beach Boys song that gets stuck in my head all the time. And she'll have fun, fun, fun till her daddy takes the T-bird away. Fun, fun till her daddy takes the car.
Okay.
Pint and Pie says, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it does look very good. It's coming out really well, Toby.
Thank you.
Radical.
Oh, I guess maybe we should actually just go ahead and introduce our names, though. Since they were asking about it.
Instead
It's,
of
yeah, it's
calling me
Claymaster or Cabbie Hat
Okay.
Brigade.
Unless you prefer Claymaster, honestly.
That's the name that
I
Pint and Pie made up for you.
I like the name, but I'm Toby. But you can call me Claymaster, Cabbie Hat 1, because I'm just asserting my dominance here as my Cabbie Hat Brigade leader. Or Toby, if you want to be boring, call me that.
I'm Chris. I'll go ahead and go by Cabbie Hat 2 because I don't need to have a Cabbie Hat like title to like feel self-worth. So I'm fine with that.
Just use your title.
Yeah, but I'm saying it doesn't matter to me what it is. I don't need to be considered the top Cabbie Hat guy to you know.
Oh, so you're trying to just passive aggressively. I see how it is.
Just being passive.
Yeah, just passive.
I don't need this. I'm not petty.
Well, since I'm not petty,
I'm better than you.
yeah.
Fine, you can be one. How do you feel about that, huh?
I'm indifferent.
Sure. Of course, you can't say you like that.
Yeah.
I'm Miles. It's a unit of distance and also my name.
That's right. Chris, beer guy, Toby. Yes, you're a beer guy.
Beer guy. I like that better. I'm that now.
It's also a unit of distance.
It's also a unit of distance.
Hey, how many beer guys away is, What color are armadillos? They're just brown, right?
Yeah, it's like sand shrew. This is like a tanner
I'm
brown.
not terribly worried about the details on
Browner Town.
So the game on Saturday is gonna kind of have that Disney thing where like they're gonna have, you know, they've got like a squirrel that's like a playable character and stuff. Then they've also just got squirrels that are just squirrels. So like they've got the thing where it's like, okay, so some of you are like sentient like actual things, and some of you are just like animals. There's a difference between animal folks and animals.
I love that. Because I see here like you have like a squirrel and a squirrel player, and you
Yeah.
have a turtle and a turtle player, and I really want like in my head, like
Oh,
like the like these are what the animals think they are, and then like it zooms out like almost like SpongeBob SquarePants style, and it's
And
just
then-
like a regular turtle.
either that or they anamorph into like the animal human version of themselves.
It's just like,
That's gotta be an anime.
yeah, so you've got let's see, let's just go ahead and get these both down there. Yeah. We got yeah, so we've got like the player turtle folk there, and then just like a regular turtle, and then squirrel folk, and then just like a regular squirrel. But
Wait, so are like regular, like turtles, like just part of the city as well?
yeah,
Well, like, are they like citizens, or they just like live around the area?
I don't know.
That's
Can
like
you be a non-sentient turtle and still have a house?
So
Okay.
they've got a token human druid in the party
Yeah, let's put
Okay.
it this
who
way.
talks to animals. So there are animals that don't speak common that they've got to deal with.
But
It's like sorry.
can these animals own land? That's what I need to know.
Can anybody really own land?
Depends who you ask. Because
Yeah.
yes, but not the moon.
I mean, let me check. What year is it?
That's like an Animal Crossing where you can give a frog or an octopus
Yeah,
as
you
to-
can give a frog to
a
a frog
frog.
villager, and
Yeah.
they'll just put it in a tank in their house.
Yeah.
And gloat, I assume.
That's
I
what
don't-
I had Tad on my island for a long time, and I just gave him so many frogs.
I had I forgot his name. The frog that has the mask on.
Frog that has a mask on. I don't think I ever had him.
Yeah, it's
Wait, like,
Rattle. But he has like a lab coat and a mask, and it was perfect because we were going right into the pandemic.
Delightful. Yep. Nope, I remember. In my head, I know literally I should think of these when someone says the word mask because I've been wearing one for the last year and a half of my life. But like, my first thought was still like a Commedia style mask, and I'm like, if that was on an Animal Crossing character, I would remember.
I would have done everything in my power to get that animal inside my town.
I got some excellent people on my island. I've got a really solid gang. I got
wanna see your
lucky.
thing. I should go to we should go to each other's village.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I love that.
I haven't loaded up my thing in a while, so it's gonna be so much.
Weeds.
Yeah, I have some good ones.
I'd love to see it. What I lack in design talent, I make up for in design
Design persistence.
persistence.
Design
yeah.
amount.
Yeah.
I have no village design. I just let the thing be
Yeah.
overrun by flowers, and I gave up.
That's the thing,
I wish-
dude. Same thing happened to me. There's flowers everywhere.
I wish there was a way to, like in previous games, you can just have like speak to the ghost to remove all the weeds or something, right? But in this game, like there's nothing you can do about the flowers. You used to be able to run over them to kill them, but no, that just removes the buds now.
Yeah, you just gotta dig them up. So I have specifically now that they give us so many more custom slots, I have a custom slot that is just blank space that I use as flower.
Preventer.
Yeah, it's a flower condoms. So like any space I don't want flowers on, it stops them from reproducing. So I just any space I don't want flowers on, or like around a batch of flowers, I would just cover it in blank custom designs.
But then what happens when you go in winter?
No, it's fine. It's because it's translucent. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He
it's
just
transparent.
puts a PNG with nothing in it.
I forgot.
All over the ground.
I didn't realize that I didn't really do custom designs at all. So
I've done a lot of them. I did a lot of clothing custom designs that I was really happy with. Because I got the detective hat thanks to my good friend Cabby Hat. Is he Cabby Hat 1 or 2 now? I'm confused.
he's kind of
Whichever one you feel like, baby.
That's not a helpful naming convention. He gave me a detective hat, which I needed desperately, but I didn't have the detective coat, so I custom designed my own detective coat. I did 2 of them because the coat needed to have some of the pants showing through, and you can't do transparent squares on clothing items. So I had to make 2 versions of the detective coat. Yeah, one with the jeans and one with
Boots with the fur.
with the fur. No, and one with brown pants. And then I actually got the real detective coat, but I don't like it as much as mine, so I still use my custom detective coat because I think it's better.
Miles is
Animal Crossing
very
should get on my
into
level.
customizable aesthetics in games.
I really like building things like towns and bases and outfits and stuff. I very, very much.
I like base building from like the thing of like go do these missions and like bring back resources to like help the place grow. I don't like deciding where everything goes and like building things wall by wall. Like I don't like designing it.
I like the idea of those. I just don't like the time it takes to do that. So I keep like getting games that do that, and then just like end up never even loading it up because I don't know where to start.
I get that. I don't know. I excel at them. I don't excel at the actual design point, but I excel at just jumping in and doing it. I mean, the stuff you guys make is the real world equivalent of that kind of base building. You realize this, right? Like, looking specifically at, like, City Builder and the pieces you have for City Builder and Valheim's base building, it's the same system. Valheim just stole your modular system and put it in a video game.
That's a bold claim.
It's not exactly the same, obviously, and aesthetically it's not the same at all, but like the pieces that you use are very, very similar. Like, so like you guys make the real world equivalent of this style of base building. Granted, it's easier to do because once you have all the pieces, like I don't need to go collect 100 wood to build a single wall in City Builder. I already own the wall and I can just put it wherever I want. So it's different in that aspect, but like, yeah.
We haven't played Valheim in like a month.
I don't
Somewhere
care which
different
caveat I
place.
am caveat. I know, it's because I've been sucked into Skyrim VR. I'll get sick of it soon, and then I'll be okay to jump back into Valheim, and I apologize.
We're so close.
I know. We might be.
I'm pretty sure we're close.
I mean, we don't really have what we need to go through the meadows yet, right? Like, the plains are still kicking us.
And what am I confirming?
Well, do we need to do the meadows? Wait, no, the meadows are fine. What are you talking about?
Not the
What am
meadows,
I- what am I
the
com-
plains.
The plains, yeah.
Yeah, like the plains still crush us, and we don't know why. So we just unlocked like the blast furnace
But
and stuff.
hold on, what am I confirming? I see it highlighted.
Oh, somebody asked if that piece is going to be cast in multiple parts or is one big thing, and they're like, well, I don't think he's going to be casting it. It's just a fun project.
I mean, no, I do want to cast that at the end, just at least for.
But this isn't a Dwarven Forge piece.
Yeah.
This is just a fun Toby piece.
Yeah, that's what we need to like emphasize. This is not like a KS8 thing.
It's awesome. I wish I would love to. I probably.
I would love for
couldn't
it to be a secret stretch goal.
I don't know that it's compatible with the current system.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
a little
like,
it's a little chunky.
the problem is, I don't know why I decided to make this 3 inches and this side 4 inches because I was like, oh, I need to add a porch. Let me just push this wall back. And I was like even if I'm not trying to, even if this is supposed to be my own thing and all, like I was using ideas like, oh, this is similar to like a swamp bank. I'm using all like the swamp bank plants and stuff like that on there. And I was thinking like, oh, this height is like the same height as like City Builder floor on top of another floor. And then I was just like, to hell with that. I'm just going to push this back to make it 3 inches, and was done.
I think it's the main thing is like it's even just like dropping it into KS8 would be hard because it's very much made to look cool as what it is as opposed to being like a modular piece.
Yeah. I still might try to fix this up so it's like it's not as.
So we'll see it on eBay. I think if anything, it's just been like a lot of practice on sculpting techniques.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm gonna the benefit of being in the office for Hobby Hang is one of these days I could try and make Toby teach me how to sculpt things, and he wouldn't be able to run away because we're trapped in front of this camera. Can you hand me another beer? After you threaten me?
Apparently not.
Which beer do you want, beer guy?
Actually, I'd love to try one of those ciders. Sounds very good.
So would I.
I was going to say it's going to be like,
I haven't done
oh,
anything. I haven't
you
done
don't
anything.
deserve this, but you did give me $5 for it, so I can't say no.
Sure, you paid
Touche.
for it, but what have you done to earn it?
Oh, do you have those Pringles that we got for Chris?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's a really good Pringles
It's
joke.
a great Pringles joke.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Have you explained? Did you explain to Toby why you got me Pringles?
No. So the reason the problem is so like the reason I gave in the store is that everyone likes Pringles, specifically barbecue Pringles. But there's a thing. We were out at one point, and I'm with Tyler, and they're selling Pringles. Like me, Chris, and Tyler are there, and I'm with Tyler by the Pringles, and they're selling them for like 3 for $5. And he points to it, and he's like, well, "There's 3 of us, $5." And we just start laughing, and we think it's very funny for some reason, and it's not. There's no joke. There was nothing. There was no reason to be laughing, but we couldn't stop. So it was just a good Pringles joke.
Yeah. So now whenever we see Pringles, it's just like, hey, these Pringles are and just like the price is. That's a good Pringles joke.
That's a good Pringles joke. The better the price you can get on your Pringles, the better the Pringles joke is. So
yeah. Can you speak about the design constraints, Toby? Like, where do you start for a piece that would be manufactured?
Okay, so yeah, this is The one thing I do like about this one is since I'm not concerned about design manufacture, I can go haywire. Some of the things I did here that I would not be able to do is like, for example, like you see this tree, how it's like hanging in, and it's like we really don't like having overhang things or like things that have here. So this tree, like, ignore the texture. I want to go back and fix that texture, but like if you're doing something that's like either leaves a piece or just like it's overhang or something like that, we will usually end up trying to fill the hole so they'll be able to pull the thing out of the mold. They also don't like overhangs and stuff like that, so we have to be very careful. So we can't do things like here.
They must have hated Wildlands.
Oh, yeah,
we had a lot of overhangs.
Yeah. In general, so some of the things, the 2 things I said, overhangs,
having to leave the space.
Basically just for a piece itself, like we have to think about like how it will be taken out of the mold, essentially. Like that's where like both the overhang and stuff like that. It's like
I didn't notice it before. I would hate making a mold of this.
It's awful. I would not want to cast this either. Like unless you'll be able to cast it, but it'll destroy the piece.
Right.
So what else is there? I'm trying to see things just on this that they would normally say no for.
Man, the porches are cool though.
Yeah, like here's another case of like not an overhang, but like space, like this rock over here, like kind of like is jutting out, like it's falling out, and I put some like space behind it, so it looks like it's actually like like falling out rather than just extended out. Like being able to like pull that out of the mold that will like mess up that rock. What else is there here? I'm trying to think what else. This is probably my mind's blanking right now, but
so different than the 3D printed pieces where there are structural supports. Do you get any of those cheats? Any post mold cleanup?
Like some things post mold cleanup. There's things I can do like to make it easier to mold. Like for example, if there was overhang thing where like I can like fill it in with a very thin sheet of clay between there, so it's like the mold doesn't like have full on grab of it. You can also do like 2-part molds or like multiple part molds to be able to like get take care of the overhangs better.
I'm excited to learn how to do this.
Yeah. And then that also lets you do castings that have texture on all sides.
Mm-hmm. Like that top piece.
Piece or what
we
else
did. That one wasn't 2-part, it was just sideways.
A lot of times though, like if we really, really want to, we can do stuff like that, like or like fiddly things, but like if you see on our pieces, you can, if you look very carefully, and sometimes you can see like mold lines where like or parts, it's definitely the case that the factory had to glue them together because the piece was made in several different molds.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, each time that happens, it's more expensive. So we only try to save that for very special pieces.
Yeah, something that like has to be done in one.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to think of another one. The one I'm thinking off the bat is was very difficult. Was the middle part of the natural bridge? How it almost has a stalagmite that's like, and a stalactite. They're almost touching each other.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some rough geometry.
Yeah.
It looks so cool though.
I know, right? I always wanted to do things that are like touching from top to bottom, so it's like you get that whole cave feeling. Like I remember back in beginning of KS6, Cavern Deep, where we're like doing sketch sculpts. One of them I did was like we're trying to do slight overhang, like you can see in some of the pieces how it's like, especially the passage pieces where like it kind of has like they all kind of have overhangs because we wanted the caverny feel, so the wall goes in and then comes back out. But we were thinking about that, and then on one of the sketch pieces I did like the overhang go complete, like almost an inch over the floor, then have a stalagmite like go from the ceiling to the floor, and then like players can even like go. It's like a movable space if you really needed it to. And
Like that APC tree. APC, is that like the quildren?
Piece tree.
8-piece trees. I think they might be talking about the quildren because Nate showed with like all the mold lines.
oh yeah.
He like drew where like all the mold lines were gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah, quildren must have been very hard because that definitely has like a.
It has so many different like branching.
Not only that, it definitely has like holes where like, not, you know what I mean, like holes where the root will come down and then like it'll connect back up to another point. So it's like, I'm not getting the right terminology right now, but
It's got a lot of tough geometry to it.
yeah. Yeah, and for like, for really cool pieces like that, we all pushed for it, for them to deliver the way we wanted. But like, for example, the swamp stump lump, we used to have the root like extending off of the end of the stump lump and then going into the water. But even that, like, they can do so it's filled in now.
But like stuff like Titan's Tooth or the Oblivion Nexus,
Yeah.
will like do fancier stuff for, just because you need to have a couple of those pieces that are just like that have just like ridiculous geometry like that, just to like, you know, it's the cool set piece. It's the thing that is more expensive. What am I working on? I'm painting a bunch of Dark Sword miniatures, animal folk minis for a charity game we're doing on Saturday. Currently painting a squirrel, and also kind of working on a turtle at the same time as stuff is drying. Gotta prep a bunch of minis for it. It's gonna be a really fun game. I'm excited about it. I'm just running tech for it. It's for AAPI Heritage Month, and the folks from Asians Represent are coming on the channel, and they're kind of doing a special one shot. They're doing just this like really bizarre satirical murder mystery. I'm very excited about it. I've been talking with the DM and setting up all this stuff for her, and it's going to be a ridiculous game. Like, we talked to the crew Tuesday night and trained them on using verbal board and went over all this stuff, and they're all very good. They're all very funny. They've got great chemistry. They play well together. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be raising money for the Cut Fruit Collective, which is a charity that helps support and promote AAPI artists and helps AAPI art get created. So, yeah, I'm excited. I've done tech for a lot of games here, but I think this is the one that's like the most exciting to me. From like I think a lot of very memorable, funny moments are going to happen. I'm very excited for people to respond to just the weird stuff that's going on in this game. Use that exact same camera to stream in your classroom? Oh, this is the A7. We had to change out the A9 because the A9 did not want to send a signal through for some reason. So the first half hour of the stream was me just trading out the cameras.
Yep.
From an artist's perspective, do you create something and then back off of it? I understand your creativity is moderated by experience. I think we definitely, in the brainstorming stages, we think about how high we can go first. We just put like all the ideas out there.
Yeah. And then as things go, like and we get closer to the Kickstarter and stuff like that, like we'll only just cut things down. But then it's like so hard because we have so many ideas that we get so attached to.
There's a lot of work that gets done before we actually like make all the pieces too.
Yeah, like all the ruins and.
There's a lot of theory crafting and a lot of like, well, if we do this, a lot of it is like, figuring out like the basic sets of pieces, like the basic systems, like what are the floors going to be like, what are the walls going to be like, are we doing anything, like what's the elevation system look like, how many pieces do we need for each of those things. And so for that, Nate's basically cutting things out of foam to match all the dimensions and playing with those shapes, and people are brainstorming and figuring out like how many pieces we need to make like the most fleshed out system in the fewest amount of pieces.
That or Toby's doing 3D models and printing like miniature versions.
We started 3D modeling helps a lot too.
Yeah, we didn't do that in previous years, and it's cool that since we have the 3D printer and can just like draw up the like geometries and even test out geometries on the computer before even like printing it out and playing with it.
Yeah, 3D modeling is a pretty new thing for us.
Yeah, because we're, as Nate always says, we're painstakingly digital.
Or analog.
Or yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
The opposite of that.
Yeah, we're a painfully analog company.
Yeah,
but
painfully. I can't even speak. Just
painfully.
Please mute me.
Ineloquent. We can't mute you.
Yeah, unfortunately,
we're all on the same camera. Or we're all on the same mic.
You have duct tape there, right?
No, don't mute my mic. Mute me.
Silence is golden, duct tape is silver.
Yeah. So it's a lot of theory crafting before we actually, so that we don't waste everybody's time sculpting stuff that we end up deciding we don't want. And even then, we still end up cutting things that people have sculpted.
Yeah.
But as early as possible, we try to figure out what's actually feasible for us to make before we have people making things.
And bummed I'm not actually going to get to do much painting on these guys outside of just priming them. Though this isn't even primer.
Just base coating.
Just base coating.
You don't have to stop when the stream stops.
Now I gotta go home, spend time with my delightful fiance.
I don't know why when you phrase it like that it sounds sarcastic, but I know you're not being
sarcastic.
sarcastic.
But it's super not. It's wicked
like,
not.
Yeah, I know you're not being sarcastic, but like you were so emphatically sincere about it that it came off like
this sincerity cannot be genuine.
It sounded like it sounded like you were mocking a wife guy.
But like, I am just a wife guy.
It's like you're just a wife guy.
Horse boy, wife guy, Miles. That's it.
Final question: what childhood/young adult skills led you into this creative job?
Legos. I was obsessed with Legos, and then I guess
Hot Wheels World.
what?
Hot Wheels World.
Was that a game?
No, it was basically like making it was like a modular street system for your Hot Wheels cars. Now that I think about it, it was modular terrain.
I didn't realize that was a thing.
That was a thing. I had a lot of it as a kid.
Yeah, you did that kind of.
Oh yeah, Miles does a lot of like really random crafting things.
When I was a youth, and this is older than I should have probably been playing with wooden sticks in the woods. So like in high school, I had a friend of mine who I barely knew him at the time. Now he's one of my best friends. I go over to his house because like we're gonna skateboard. You skateboard, I want to skateboard. We're gonna skateboard. I go over to his house. We do some skateboarding. We're both terrible. I go into his room. We're hanging out in his closet. Way in the back, he's just got this wooden sword with like a duct tape handle, and it was nothing incredible, but there's clearly effort put into it. You know, like he put some time into making a good handle out of duct tape for this sword. And I found that significantly more interesting than any of the skateboarding we had done. So I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And we play around with wooden swords for a little bit. I don't see him for the rest of the summer. Next year, after the summer, I show up at school. He's like, Miles, you know that duct tape sword? I'm like, yeah, I think about that duct tape sword way too often considering it's not mine. And he's like, I made 3 more. I'm like, you're going to have to show me. I start hanging out with this kid constantly. Gets to the point where we will make like full ranger costumes. We will go to the hardware store to get like specific types of wood to make wooden swords, and then like immaculately design and craft different like duct tape handguards for them. At one point we made like fantasy helms entirely out of duct tape. I made a second age elven helm, and he made like a dwarf style helm based on Gimli's, which was a way more impressive helmet to make actually, all out of duct tape. And this is how we spent our free time. So I guess that is why I ended up here. Actually, the real reason I ended up here is because I did film stuff and they needed a PA like 2 years ago, and then they needed more hands, and they were like, we know Miles, he can do this.
Yeah, because while you're there, it's just like, man, we could really use this kind of prop, and it's like, oh, Miles has recently started doing glass engraving.
Glass engraving. I like to make boxes. I turned a book into like a box with dragon scales on it. I'm really happy with that one. I don't know, I just like making things.
Yeah, you've done basically everything. And so that was the thing. So what he does now is he helps Toby with making with blocks and just all the stuff we have to do to
busy work. I'm the busy work guy. If something's like, here's the thing, I couldn't do this. I can't do sculpting. I can't do 3D modeling. I don't know how the 3D printers work. I can take things off of them and clip off the supports. But like,
you can make the Dwarven Forge video game.
I'm working on that, but very slowly at this point. Whereas like
3 for 5.
It gets to the point where like Toby has a lot of skills he can be using for the company as a whole that are generally, they take more skill than blocking or casting. So I do that stuff.
That's weird.
Huh?
I don't know when it says like that.
It's true. I like the stuff I do is like,
just like,
I'm
Toby's too important. Like,
no, it's like I'm doing like the more unskilled labor jobs of your job. They're like, wait, there's better uses of your time than this stuff, and so I do the stuff that Toby shouldn't be doing at this point because he has more important things to do.
I mean, I wish. Yeah, I keep getting sidetracked with KS7 stuff, but finally back to being able to.
Yeah, it turns out people still like want us to give them the Wildlands stuff they bought.
Wild.
Yeah.
Lands.
Hi, Amy. How are you doing? Is that pizza flavored Pringles? That's barbecue.
It's BBQ.
I want my
the best genre of Pringles joke.
I want my Japanese katsukuri flavored Pringles already.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. It's apparently like a rice and peas one. I don't know where to get it, but I saw it.
The overseas flavors of things that we have here are always wild to me.
Yeah. Well, Kit Kat's always crazy.
Oreos, it gets some weird flavors overseas.
When I was in China once, I had Oreos that were like half like the cream was half and half. One side was grape flavor, one side was peach flavor, but neither of those fruits go well with chocolate. So I don't know what they were thinking.
Huh.
And I hadn't, and really didn't go well. So.
You tend to see either fruit flavored versions of things or seafood.
Seafood?
Y'all, have you had prawn chips? I love prawn chips.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
You want to catch a second? Oh, you got your second shot? You're basically among the dead yesterday. Yeah, congratulations.
Mood.
We got our second shots basically a month ago at this point. That's
Yeah,
the thing. We're all
right.
vaccinated.
Yeah, that's why we're not having masks on.
The
here.
whole office is fully vaccinated.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's finally over.
Looks like we made it. For now.
Yeah.
We'll see. Booster shot in a year, maybe? Let's see. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
But as for Japan flavors being really weird, the craziest thing I had there was there's this ice pop flavor that I like. Well, there's it's normally like a soda flavor. One is called Gari Gari-kun, but they like to do odd flavors. And one of the really weird ones they had was potato stew flavored, and spaghetti Neapolitan flavor, and they had like real chunks of potato or tomato in the ice pop.
That's
It's
fascinating.
really weird.
Yeah, I don't love that. I don't love it. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's like, and also in Japan, I also saw a Krispy Kreme, and they had a tuna salad donut.
Mm-hmm.
What they did though was they did it as a savory donut, which actually worked nice, but it just like sounds so weird.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, fruit and seafood. They do like fruit and seafood versions of a lot of our like standard chocolatey stuff.
Oh, they had that in a ratatouille flavor donut.
Oh, I'd try that.
It was pretty good.
I want to make a YouTube video that's just titled, so Ame would make it actually, but it would be, I make the ratatouille from Ratatouille, but with pepperonis in it, because my fiance thinks it looks like there should be pepperonis in it. Because it looks like there should be pepperonis in it. And I want to try it, but I want there to be pepperonis in it when I try
I
it.
don't remember what the ratatouille from Ratatouille looks like.
Imagine like a fancy stack of thinly sliced stuff that really just looks like 3 different colors of pepperoni. So I'm just convinced it's like pepperoni and then like different types of peppers. But the important part is the pepperonis.
Pepperoni.
Yeah.
Pepperoni is just pepper demons.
Yep.
There's also ice cream in Japan that has little fish in it. Not surprised. Make it with thin sliced sausage. Ooh, that sounds really good actually.
Sounds awesome.
That would be really good.
One thing is like, I never got it. Like,
I wonder. Sorry. No, what is it?
no,
What is
no,
it?
I didn't know how to like. I didn't continue it. It was like about the Japanese food and like.
I wonder if Ratatouille is still my favorite Pixar movie.
It's very good. I'll give it that.
Coco though.
Coco's so good.
Coco's really
Oh,
good.
wait, is Big Hero 6 Pixar?
No.
Okay.
It's not. It's
Good. Then because that would just make it more difficult for me. I love Big Hero 6.
So does Chelsea.
that was like a secret Marvel movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was based on a Marvel comic. I
Yeah,
believe.
but he's not a robot in there. He's an alien in the comics, right?
It's like entirely different in the comics.
Yeah.
I think now there's a comic version based on the movie,
Yeah.
but the comic it was air quotes based on was, from the very little I know, very, very different.
Yeah.
DuckTales. Whoa. I don't know why.
Great.
that
Well,
just
now we're
happened.
gonna get copyright claimed.
DMCA. There's DMCA police here in the chat.
DMCA.
We're gonna hit you with DMCA. Okay. Zucchini, yellow squash, and thin sliced sausage. Then I roast it with mead.
That's
Dude.
awesome.
Ooh.
Well, that sounds good. We were just talking about mead earlier today.
Yeah. What was it?
I missed the mead conversation.
Cider with mead.
Yeah, I was telling him about the bee sting at the Ren Fair in Tuxedo.
Yeah, that's generally what I was thinking about. Was the last time I had mead was at the Ren Fair. 'Cause that's one of the we did that fairly.
The year before the pandemic.
It was like a couple months before the pandemic. Yeah, we went to the
Yeah.
Ren Fair.
God, I want to go back. I miss Ren Fairs. I miss that Ren Fair. I've only been twice, but it's a good Ren Fair. Honestly, I call like B to A tier Ren Fair.
It's the only one I've been to. Well, no. I kind of casually walked through one other that was near my hometown when I was like younger, and I barely remember anything.
Fair.
I remember very little about it.
The only one I went to was the one like Inwood.
Is that the one that we went to?
What? No.
Is that the one we it's not?
No,
Okay.
we went to one tuxedo.
Yeah, but
Oh.
yeah, I went there with Eli and Stefan. So. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the one tuxedo is nice. I honestly, I've been to a couple. I used to perform at Renaissance festivals growing up. Shocking, I know. But I'm judgy about them. I greatly prefer Renaissance festivals that have like a permanent grounds with like permanent buildings, because otherwise, like, no matter how period accurate your tents look, like, it's just harder to, like, I don't know, get into the feeling when you're just walking around a bunch of tents with swords in it, swords and jugglers. Whereas, like, if you have like permanent buildings that people like use, it just feels more like a stable. It feels more like an actual tiny weird medieval town that you're in.
Yeah.
I stand by. I don't even know if it's still open because I don't know. But the Minnesota Renaissance Fair is excellent Renaissance festival. And if it's still going, I highly recommend anyone in the chat go.
Favorite Pixar movie is probably still The Incredibles for me.
It's good.
Always loved Toy Story. Sucked up so much of my young life. Man, I really like Toy Story 2. Incredibles is very good.
It is.
They were just
really like
they
Toy
were
Story.
all bangers for a long time.
They got a pretty solid track record there. You know.
Toy Story 3 is my least favorite of the Toy Stories. I don't know.
3 a lot more than 2.
That's so weird to me.
2 just didn't do anything for me.
Go long, Dad. Remember that weird B plot where the second Buzz Lightyear was Zurg's son? It was
Yeah.
It just felt like a just weird mishmash of like that. I just remember like that and too much of the Hobby Collector.
Oh, he was terrifying. I loved it.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
But 3 also had Totoro, so.
My neighbor Totoro RoboCop.
Totoro RoboCop.
Totoro RoboCop.
Yeah, my neighbor Totoro RoboCop is one of my favorite jokes.
That's good.
It's very good. Soul. Hey, Soul wasn't finally returned to form. Coco was a return to form. Coco was phenomenal.
Coco, I didn't see Soul, but Coco was.
I haven't seen Soul either.
So
But-
good. Yeah, I like Soul a lot. But it's just like it's,
Yeah, it's not saying Soul is bad. I'm saying like Coco was when I was like, oh man, Pixar's back.
Yeah.
Like, it's like my wife's 2 weeks after vaccine today with sushi. Nice. Hopefully she doesn't get food poisoning from the sushi and then get worried that she's sick with COVID or something, because that would be rough.
Yeah.
That's a weird,
My day after I got the vaccine, second shot, was rough stuff. I was out.
Yep.
I was down for the count.
That night, I like couldn't sleep because I got like just like I couldn't get comfortable.
I
Like,
heard that was a thing. Like, like certain people like definitely did just have issues sleeping.
and like I already have issues. Sleeping.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It's like there. I was joking with Ame about me and you playing games late night. I was saying I could probably be nocturnal. And I'm like, yeah, because I could just ask Chris to play games with me all night. And she was like, he probably would. I'm like, listen, we will sometimes be playing video games until at the latest 4 a.m, and I'll say I need to go, and Chris will be like, yeah, I guess. Like, like it's 4 a.m. Like, ugh. But I get it, but so I definitely think I could get Chris to stay up way too late if I decided to be nocturnal.
Yeah, I'd say that's a thing.
It's my mom.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna get off. Oh, I missed it.
Put her on stream.
I'm gonna call my mom back. I'll see you guys shortly.
Put her on stream.
No, I don't know what it is. What if it's important?
Then you'll have
like, hi mom, you're on speaker. Hi mom, you're on stream.
then you'll have that important moment. Then you'll have that important moment, like, you know, immortalized forever on stream. Yeah, that doesn't really sound appealing, does it?
Yeah. Great sell. I like the colors of
That
that.
sounds like good. Thank you.
Penguin.
Honestly, for speed painting, not bad.
What is that?
It's a squirrel's tail.
Oh,
I gotta glue it on after.
Okay.
It does by itself. This does look highly suspect, but I promise it's just a squirrel's tail.
You can put it on the armadillo.
I was 8 when the OG came out. I remember going to see Toy Story on Ice or something like that. Dude, yeah, Toy Story on Ice was a genuine thing. Did you ever see clips of that?
Where they just like people dressed up and they were ice skating while they're like.
Yeah, there was
I
a
didn't
period of
see it, but
time.
I know there was like.
There was
lot
a
of
period of time where Disney was like putting all their stuff on ice. I
Yeah,
don't know if they're
I
still
remember that.
doing it, but like they used to advertise it like crazy.
I'm sure they did it for Frozen.
No.
I'm,
But people
Look
are
it
like,
up.
"Oh, she's gonna make an ice castle." They're like, "Wow."
I'm pretty sure they did. I think I saw it. Like, 'cause I remember not hearing about it, and then I saw.
Elsa
that.
got mad and everyth's ice now. It just doesn't have any impact when.
Well, most of the movie is just on a frozen land.
Frozen on dirt. That should be the thing.
Yeah, they're just roller skating.
They're just frozen on pavement.
Extreme Frozen. Extreme Sports Edition. I don't know.
Which Pixar or Disney property would be most improved by parkour?
Cars.
Carkour!
Carkour.
Yes! Let him go just like ka-chow, he's driving on the walls.
Yeah.
Oh man, Frozen Monster Truck Rally. That's so good.
Yeah.
Frozen on wheels. Oh man.
Frozen.
This is why he shouldn't have used the paints he used.
I don't know why he.
I'm telling him just go grab the Picorni. Just use the Picorni. It's
I
terrain
wanted-
paint.
Yeah.
So he's using these things. I'm like, oh, these are not meant for terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah, well. I have 2 questions. First off, who writes your adventures for things like Wildlands? Second, how come there's an adventure that has 4 different builds with the Dungeon's Core and Zoltar's Game Room? For Wildlands, what we're doing is because we didn't do... So with Dungeons of Doom and Caverns Deep, we had like narratives that went from the beginning to the end of like all the encounters in the Kickstarter. And so it was like a long adventure, but we hired writers to come on and help with those. Teo Sabadia helps out a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why I say helps out. Like they're paid to do it. They work. They make it. Yeah. It's not like, hey, can you just look at this real quick and like tell me what you think. For Wildlands, since we didn't take that approach, what we're doing is we're doing 2 sets of adventures that are 5 encounters each per biome. So there's going to be 6 different 5 encounter adventures, and each of them has a different writer. I've actually been organizing and leading that. We've got 2 of them done, meaning the 2 of them have been like written and we just need to do the play testing. Another one of them is supposed to be in a couple days.
Are we going to play test here?
I've been trying to
play test.
I've been trying to figure out what to do with the play
I
testing,
miss,
right?
you know, playing D&D with everybody.
I'm trying to figure out what to do with the play testing. We were thinking like, do we want to do it like the writers thought it might be fun if like they DM'd each other's adventures for play testing.
No.
So we could do it in person. We could do it remote. We could do it as a mixture. I was talking to Nate about it, and he's like, "Yeah, maybe we'll reach out to Wildlands backers and like play test it with backers. Maybe." The main thing with the play testing is just the time. That's honestly the biggest.
Yeah.
That's the biggest hurdle right now. Is we're doing so many things right now. Which is another thing I was talking to Nate about last night. Was he's like, it just feels so crazy in particular right now for some reason. It's like, well, it's because we're doing all this stuff to update the store and all that.
I mean, but
Like-
it's always been that. We always put so much like, and like.
We've always taken on a lot in terms of like, you know, like fulfilling one Kickstarter while working on the next Kickstarter. But like now we're adding like, hey, we're trying to like reconfigure all these sets to go into the store, and we're like remaking all of that stuff. And we're trying to stream very often, and Build of the Month is an extra strain now that it wasn't when it started. Build of the Month has only been going for like a year and a half, and then, you know, it's fairly recently that we started actually selling them, and then
I mean,
the
yeah.
stuff that we did in addition to it has grown.
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember at the beginning of Build of Mount, it was just like, was it on the what's it called, the quarterly? I think it was not originally on the quarterly, right?
Yeah. Oh, I guess we've actually been doing the videos for like 2 years. The first stuff I ever did for Dwarven Forge was editing the first Build of the Month videos.
Okay.
And I think those were early 2019. So I think actually, yeah, we've been doing those for like 2 years. So yeah, we're very busy. So to answer your question, to get back to that, right. For Wildlands, there's going to be 6 different adventures, each of them with a different writer. One of them is Eli. Eli actually wrote his before we hired any other writers. The other 5 adventures are all being written by established like TT RPG writers. Some that we're friends with that you would probably expect us to be working with. Some that are kind of new connections. So I'm really excited about that. I've been coordinating that. And we've got some really good people. One of them just got turned in a couple days ago, and it's very good. I'm excited about it. So we're doing those. The reason why we don't have one that's the Dungeons Core and Zoltar's Game Room is time. I think is the main thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if we grew to the point where we could have like people in the company whose entire job was just to do written content, that'd be fantastic. But right now, when we did written content in the past, like there wasn't actually anybody to be in charge of it, really.
Also, the problem was we got too perfectionistic with it.
Mm-hmm.
That like the Dungeon of Doom, like
we got perfectionistic with it, but also we didn't really have anybody whose like job was that. It's a thing like, hey, you're all doing all this stuff to get ready for the next Kickstarter, and also we're gonna try to make this at the same time. But like nobody actually had the time to be doing it.
Yeah, like our the module, I would feel like it's like the work that went into it is comparable to like all the other modules out there. But like everyone who was doing it was doing on the side of like everything else. Like so took so much. For something we weren't even selling.
Yeah, for something you're not even selling. Yeah. So that's like the thing is I guess it's actually like a fairly new thing that for these Wildlands modules, like we actually do have a point person. Like I am just in charge of coordinating all of it. And the thing is, I'm still also doing a lot of other stuff, but I'm not, because I'm not a sculptor, because I'm not a painter, I don't have to be doing stuff to work on on the next Kickstarter, basically, right now. So in between Kickstarters, I have more bandwidth than like Toby or Nina or Aaron has, because they've all got to be working, one, on getting Wildlands actually produced and making the adjustments that got to be made and figuring out how to fix the production issues. And they've also got to be developing everything for the next Kickstarter. So they don't really get downtime in between the Kickstarters. Whereas for me, like, during the Kickstarter, I was literally streaming every day and editing videos and doing a bunch of other stuff. But like, I'm not actively making pieces right now or anything. So I've got more time to do other stuff.
True.
But still, if we could have somebody whose entire job was just to make written content, that'd be another thing entirely. But then we'd have to justify that being an expense because we're not selling these or making money off of them. And so far, I don't think we've really seen evidence that it's helping bring people into our product either. I'm hoping that with the Wildlands stuff, we can maybe get some eyes from people who are just looking for modules and adventures to run that don't know about our terrain yet. But we'll see. If I wrote an adventure built on using a couple of core sets and multiple builds, would you guys look at it? Probably. Just do like a fan.
Yeah, it would be great to like see that like list up in Discord and people can like.
I don't have the authority to declare what would happen or anything, but like we're usually cool with like people making stuff and taking a look at it. I don't know.
I mean,
not saying like don't like make pieces and stuff and send them in, but I mean, we're pretty laid back.
Yeah, I mean, I think as you said, like, definitely a cool thing to see like that.
Well, because we're trying to highlight fan stuff more because with the site redesign that just went through, one of the things that we're doing is we are featuring fan builds directly on the site now. basically every week we're planning to upload another fan build, and we're asking them all ahead of time, and like asking for like their thoughts on it, like how they want to be credited and all that. So I don't know. So maybe fan generated encounters could be a thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it kind of works with like the 12x12 build challenges where people are making like the encounter type of thing, right?
I really want to find a way to encapsulate that, because that was like a whole moment in itself. But like,
Still tacky.
it takes so much work to. I think it's just because you're using acrylics.
Probably.
If I'm being real.
I mean, acrylics don't take super long to dry. They're not like oils, but it is.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if these are just the wrong paints for the job, though.
yeah, I think it was.
Well, I mean, but I guess
my paints that I own.
Picorni
I know,
is
but-
high flow acrylics though, so I don't know. But maybe it's just a different kind. But yeah, like they should not still be.
I mean, I haven't let them dry all the way yet. I've been throwing extra coats on the whole time.
Yeah.
But,
Okay, Ryan Noir.
and I could probably start dry brushing them if I wanted to, but that would involve like knowing what I'm doing or making a decision in regards to what I want to do. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
It wasn't my mom calling, by the way. It was my nephew.
Oh man, Little
nephew
Britches.
is
Was it Little
It
Britches?
was Little Britches.
It was Little Britches.
Your nephew is in your phone as your mom?
No, he doesn't have a phone, so he calls from my mom's phone.
Okay.
He's very young.
Why doesn't he have a phone?
He is a little tiny child.
He's 3 and he doesn't have a phone
I'll
yet?
say.
He's not. He's school age. I think first or second grade. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Hope he's not watching. Just kidding. But yeah.
I don't think you would know.
I'm visiting soon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, my brother, his wife, and my nephew all live with my parents, and I'm visiting my parents for my birthday. Yeah, because they just moved out to North Carolina, so they moved in with my parents, and they're gonna try and find a place eventually once they get settled. But
We need to take a writing retreat, man.
we do. I mean, because now it's even better because they literally live in like a little mountain town in North Carolina, so we can like hike through the woods and stuff for inspo.
I really like that house though.
It was a great house. I'm very curious about their new house. Their new house does have 2 decks, which is a bonus, and they have a hot tub now, so it's another bonus. But their old house was nice. Like the layout was really, really good.
Just that bar that they had downstairs.
In the basement, my dad's man cave. I love my dad. He's like, if I grow up to be a third of the man my dad is, the world would be better off for having me. But like, there are certain things where he's just like very basic dad. So when there was a basement that he got to design, he just like built a man cave in it.
I realized with my house, I pretty much now just made a man cave because we have like 2 floors, so I made the bottom floor like I put my desk there, and then we got a couch, and then it's like decided to get another TV, and then decided the gaming consoles go there. It's like, wow, this is just a man cave, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. No, Dad built a bar, had like a little beer fridge. It was beautifully done. He had a purple leather recliner. He's a Vikings fan. I'm from Minnesota originally. He had like those, those like metal signs that are meant to look vintage. He had a couple of those, but instead of having a sign on it, it was just like old comic book covers. So like a classic Green Lantern cover on like a metal sign that was on the wall and stuff like that.
I forgot you got the comic stuff from your dad.
Yeah. I'm a nerd raised by a nerd. My dad named me after a Star Trek character.
Looks like some good chocolate milk you're stirring. It looks way better on camera than it looks from here. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, this just looks gray. And like,
Yes.
Yeah, it looks gray and kind of grossly milky.
This would be like if like cookies and cream sparkling water would probably look this unappealing. Like
Have you seen some of those sparkling waters that they make? Like the Polar
Cookies
brand,
and
like
cream
they have like the
sparkling
vanilla
water.
or like the they have like chocolate, or it's like
I've not. I'm fascinated.
there's some really weird ones out there, and that just reminded me of that. But
Cookies and
I don't
cream
think that looks like that. I think I can't even. It's like dark milk.
Dark milk.
Show me your powers, dark milk.
That sounds like
milk.
that absolutely sounds like some kind of like really bad like licensed product.
Metal.
Yeah.
Trying to like advertise like a show.
want to try and find a picture of that.
The Kingdom Hearts breakfast collection.
the you know that pixel art cave that I made a long time ago?
Yeah. Oh, your pixel art stuff was really cool.
I would love to. No, okay. I don't think this would be a good color thing to draw on for the color scheme. Because a lot of why I like the colors in this is because of like the sunset in the background is part of why it's cool. But that's not something I could portray. I was thinking of trying to do like this as the theme here.
Sculpt a sunset, Miles.
And how close do I have to get before they can see this?
Well,
We can go to. Put it in front of the camera there.
Go to Metal Gear.
Yeah, put it in front of.
There's a little pixel art cave animation I made when I was dabbling in pixel art. I really like doing pixel art. I feel like
You're good at it, honestly.
the things that keep me from excelling at a lot of artistic mediums don't have as big of an effect in pixel art. You know, so like the limitations it provides really help me like focus. Which is one of the reasons I started trying to look into game development, but then I stopped having pandemic free time, so that didn't progress.
Pandemic Free Time is a great band name.
Yeah.
my pandemic free time was nowhere near as productive as I wanted it to be.
Yeah, I've been trying not to get
Got
down on myself
nothing.
lately, but
Yeah.
like I'm really upset with myself for like not making a bunch more stuff during
me too.
pandemic.
I don't think did you really do anything? No, it's just sucked all the time.
And it's dumb because like it's not like I was on a vacation,
No.
but the way my brain works.
It's the capitalist propaganda, is what it is. It's capitalist propaganda.
I mean, I probably would not like doubt it, but explain.
Your worth is tied to your productivity.
Yes. Okay. Your only value is or like everything you do should lead to your economic growth.
That is exactly why I can't like do anything anymore. I have idea, I want it to be perfect, and then I try it, and then like I realize I don't have the skills to be able to do it, but I don't know how to get the skills because I want whatever I'm doing as practice to be perfect. I just
Yeah.
give up. Everything has to lead to something to me. I just can't like. It's like
the number of scripts I've stopped writing because I'm like, well, I can't produce this. I don't have the means to make this right now.
Yeah.
Like the writing of it should be an activity I enjoy enough to just do it.
Yeah.
But no.
even this thing. It's just like, oh, I'm doing it because I'm practicing. It's like, yeah, that's great, but like, why can't it just be for me?
Yeah.
Like, as in like not for work stuff. Like,
That's fair.
I mean, like, yeah, by practice, I mean, I was like, oh, I'm going to do, like, word stuff because I thought this would be necessary. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, all that said, I'm just looking at it and I'm like,
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
get into writing.
like I'm just like, I could have made so many videos during that, but I've made one, you know?
The Slime Rancher?
Yeah.
It was a good one. Made one video, but it's a good video.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I want to try, like,
The thing is, like, I don't know. I feel like I feel like I was gonna feel that way no matter what.
Yes.
It's just,
No, with my experience and your brain, with my experience of your brain, yes.
yeah, well.
Is this
It's like the end of a week-long vacation from school or a break from school, and then you have all these plans, and then realize on the Sunday that like you do nothing and you feel depressed about it.
Don't be upset with yourself. It's never worth it. Yeah, that's basically it. It's dumb. Like I said, like it's a thing where it's like intellectually I know that it's stupid for me to feel that way, but like it doesn't stop me from thinking it and feeling it.
Yeah, feelings are facts.
Yeah, but that being said, I should like start doing a little bit of something like productive, because I just want to do more like just projects for myself. I've never been good at that, just like doing something for myself. So I want to try. I guess I'll try to write a little bit.
Yeah, I've definitely let myself get carried away with Dwarven Forge stuff. You know?
Yeah, and then get carry Jordan Forge stuff, and then get back, and then it's like too tired and just wasting time on the computer,
Yes.
like magic thing. I don't know, like just anime. I don't know.
Anime's never a waste of time.
Because I guess like also a thing is like put out like over 52 episodes of our like D&D show every week during a pandemic. So like it's not like I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just always want more out of yourself.
Yep.
Perfection's the enemy of done. Oh yeah, that's the thing that Satchel would always say. Said he learned from one of his friends. Say that done is better than perfect. Which, yeah. It's just the reality of the thing that like you are never going to create something that lives up to everything you hoped it would be in your head, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some detail you just didn't manage to get exactly right or something.
Yeah. Like, I know. Yeah, it's like something I know that like when I'm doing things at work, it's like like if I fail at something, I'm learning from what wasn't right, but I don't want to take that risk for myself. And then just like never like.
Squirrels have black eyes.
That sounded weird, but you know what I mean.
Oh, I made the squirrel's eyes white, and I just realized they got black eyes. It's like, this looks weird. Like, yeah, because they're not supposed to have white eyes. Need to paint my tutor stuff and sitting in front of the fireplace mocking me. That's real. Well, hey, every Thursday we do a show called The Hobby Hang, where the entire point...
What's a Thursday? Wait, is it Thursday today? Is this Hobby Hang?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Hobby Hank.
Hobby Hank?
I'm Hobby Hank. Welcome to my Hobby Hang.
I'm Hobby Hank, and I'm Harvey Hang. Dan, that's one of my favorite bits that... I think you've been there for it. Tyler and I started doing this bit. When we were taking our temperature, like when we had to come in during the pandemic, we would take it and be like, 96.4. And it's like, welcome to 96.4, the radio.
The radio.
This is Morning Show with DJ and the host.
That's very good.
Is it Thursday yet? Yeah. Yes, dude. We just stole that. What if we just stole that from Matt Mercer? Just like, is it Thursday yet is our thing now. It's like, yeah, the thing everybody can't wait for on Thursdays. The Hobby Hang.
The Hobby Hang.
98.2 WKFA, The Rock. Okay, I kind of got the mouth down.
It's 8 already?
Yeah, we should wrap it up.
That makes sense. I actually didn't know how long this went, so I was just waiting for one of you guys to be like...
The thing is, we go late sometimes, you know? One time Reaper rated, and so we went for like an extra 40 minutes because they rated us like literally as we were about to wrap up. It was like 7:56, and then Reaper rated with like 130 people. We were like, guess we're going for a while. We're not gonna stop now.
That's
Like-
fair. That makes sense.
It was always your thing. They stole it from you. Yeah. Fun fact: we've actually been doing the Hobby Hang for about 6 years.
Yeah.
It's actually where Matt Mercer got his start. It's where he learned about D&D. Was he was a PA on Hamster's Hobby Hang back in 2013, which is more than 6 years ago. And he was like, so why are you painting all these little men with swords? We're like, well,
Let me introduce you. I asked my nephew if he knew what Dungeons and Dragons was. I was trying to tell him about my new job. He asked me how I was. I'm like, I started a new job. I'm trying to tell him what this job is. And I'm like, do you know what Dungeons and Dragons is? He's like, let me check. No.
check what?
No, I don't know. He's a child. I don't know.
Like, what?
But he didn't need to check. And then he didn't know what it was. And I'm like, Ask your dad and your grandpa. Both of them played. I just call him dad and grandpa. It's weird having to call. It's weird having my nephew live with my dad because I have to go to my dad's house and call him grandpa.
Yeah.
Well, because
I'm too stupid to understand this.
Well, because he's my nephew's grandpa, right?
It's that thing families do where they always just like change everybody's pronouns to fit like little kids.
The youngest,
so like,
yeah.
So like the so like for example, my grandma is always just called mom by everybody. On my dad's side, just because like she had like 20,000 kids, and so no matter what, somebody who was her kid was always around. So it was always just easy to refer to her as mom, even if like
your mom was there.
Yeah.
I realize why I have a hard time understanding this. My family is extremely small. Like,
oh man, no! Everybody in my family decided they needed like 50 kids.
yeah, like
It's
my dad's mom and brother don't. Sorry, my dad's sister and brother didn't have kids. Like he only has one cousin, and same thing on my mom's side. Only one.
That's why I'm childless, just to like help restore balance. Too many Londons, honestly.
Too many Londons.
TBQH. Too many Londons, and not that many of them are falling down.
None of them are falling down. Not
Yeah.
enough, you know. More Londons
Not
must
enough.
fall. More Londons must fall.
More Londons must fall.
Sunday, be there.
Is it Sunday yet? Oh my god. Has Critical Role ever done a Monster Truck a Monster Truck style?
Get the Monster
Ad.
Trunks to set with Wildlands.
Could you make a Tower of Londons? Yes.
Yes.
If you just like hold each other across a river, is it a London Bridge?
I didn't think that today I was going to hear so many jokes that I'd never heard before. But here we are.
But here we are.
Here we are.
I feel like there's no one in the world who can empathize with me as much as you in regards to like super common name jokes.
Yeah.
Like I thought Miles was very bad for it, but London is probably worse.
And then also just like Chris is also, or is it like whether it's Christopher Robin or Christopher Columbus or whatever, like everybody would always go like, oh, like this. It's like, yeah.
And now like a third of the only actors in Hollywood who get work.
Yeah. What I hate about that is that means they took up all the Chris space, and then people are just gonna be sick of the name Chris,
Yeah.
and there's just gonna be no work for me.
Make a new name. That's what actors do.
Make a new name.
Geldin.
Geldin.
Geldin. Forged a new name from nothing. Nothing. His name has been forged from air. Air and mind aura. Geldin rises.
That's like my full name.
Yes.
Starring Geldin Rises. Galvin Godot. I have 0 students middle school or down named Chris. That's it. They all got sick of Chris. There were too many
Honestly,
Chris's.
you know what's hot these days? Miles.
Yes, you are.
It's very, very like so. First of all, I met a bunch of people growing up who are like, "Oh, you're the first Miles I've ever met." But I went to high school with 2 other Mileses, which is kind of wild. But also, like walking around in this city, like waiting tables, I would have a child named Miles come into whatever restaurant I worked at, like at least once every 2 months. And I was at the beach the other day.
And then the parents would always be like, "Oh, look, he's also named Miles."
Yeah,
I have the same
Fight.
problem, but every single one that's named Toby is a dog.
fair.
I know
Yeah.
so many dogs named Toby, and I hate it.
Yeah, Toby is a big dog name.
I'm at the beach, and we're sitting there. We're people watching because it's fun, and there's this like group of little kids running around, and like the kids run off to the beach, and the youngest is sitting there, and they take his shirt off, and then he just starts pulling his diaper down, and I just hear the adult go, "Miles, no!" I'm like, of course it's this one. This is the one named after me. Not named after, but you get it. Like, oh, yep, that tracks.
We decided
great.
to name him after a waiter we had at
at a bad burger bar or a failing failing celebrity chef restaurant. That's the only place.
I like that you can say a failing celebrity chef restaurant, and it doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah, I've worked at several.
I've also worked at several.
The same several, generally.
The same several. I think you got me a job at one, and I got you a job at the other.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there we are.
I had a cat named Toby.
You had 4 students named Gavin one year? Galvin Gadont. You know what should be a hot name? Gareth.
Gareth should be a super hot name.
Gareth actually is used fairly often in England.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's more common there than anywhere else. For obvious reasons, I think.
Used a smaller brush for this part. Doodle-doo-doo. Ah, doodle-doo.
Doodle-doo. Man, what time is it? It's 8:23. We should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I tire.
Fair and reasonable. This turned out awful. I hate this.
Really? I'm actually I'm liking the tone you're getting out of it. You've just started, but I'm liking the tone you got out of it.
I'm trying to pick some highlight rocks, and then I'm gonna dry brush them. I don't know.
It's genuinely going all right.
We'll see.
You just started. It always looks bad until you're done.
That's fair. Keep painting till it's good. Is the
Just
moral
be
of the
glad
story.
you're not actually doing it like Hellscape, or you'd feel even worse.
Fair and
The
reasonable.
first step of Hellscape, you feel like you've destroyed everything. And then you start doing it, and you're like, oh, I've only destroyed part of it. By the time that you're done. You know? You're doing great. Keep it up.
And if you actually
Great moves.
If you actually did destroy something in Housecape, you don't realize it until you're done.
Yes. There's also that. And then you've got to strip the whole thing. You've got to drop it in a vat of the acid from Who Framed Roger Rabbit to get all the paint off. What was that stuff? What were they dipping him in? Was it because it killed Toons.
Yeah.
I guess.
Was it like it was like a thing. It wasn't like Whiteout, but I feel like it was like something similar.
I
to that.
haven't watched that in so long.
It's been a very long time. Turpentine.
Turpentine.
Turpentine or turpentine?
Turpentine.
Turpentine?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think it was that, but it should have been.
That would have been a pun.
That's what I aim for. And a pun.
I got a good amount of these done. Just gonna line them all up real quick. All the ones I did. And the turtle's like halfway done. Oh, see you, hobby hangers.
Thanks for coming.
No,
Thanks for coming.
Let's show the stuff we did real quick. Yeah, this is much harder to do as well. All right. just put your thing right in front. These are all the ones I got done today. Tails got to go on that squirrel. I'm pretty happy with them so far. Let's player character down. Really good job on the base. There are all those. Now I got there's a little paint scheme there.
This, it doesn't, you can kind of see that there's color besides gray on there.
Yeah, like I said, like it's actually, the thing you're doing is working. You just need to keep going. Yeah, it's looking good. All right, let's get that big sculpt boy. I'm just gonna move over there for you. That's fine. Oh, pick a spot. Just pick a spot. All right,
Chase him.
Yeah, so I was working on the...
chase him, Statham.
I was working on the carpet today, and I tried doing the texture thing, but I like the pattern that the thing had, like the diamond pattern, so kind of smoothed it out. I'm going to go back with other fabric to try to get that, but I traced the pattern, and then a little bit more texture work on other stuff.
Did you have you finished Hellscape?
I have not finished Hellscape. I finished my Pedestal of Pain and Volcano. I don't think I posted pictures of them yet. I should post those. I took a picture and I think I forgot to just post them. I'm maybe a third of the. Actually, I think I hit the halfway point on my actual Hellscape pieces because then I have like cavern pieces. The thing is, I'm doing all the big annoying ones right now. Honestly, the magma rivers feel like they're going to be a lot easier than the other things because like you don't have to white out a bunch of it because when it's magma rivers, most of it is actually just going to stay unpainted.
Yeah. Well,
not unpainted, but just like with the washes and transparent paints.
Yeah, the transparent paints. Yeah.
So I feel like those are actually going to be easier than the ones where it's like, oh, the large banks where you need to white out almost everything, but make sure you leave enough cracks that you can still have stuff shine through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was helping Aaron base coat a bunch of the Hellscape prototypes, and I remember how much of a pain that was.
Hellscape is rough, dude.
Yeah.
Hellscape is rough.
Excited to try it.
Yeah. Fruitscape. I mean, you did a good job converting these into caverns, like base. I don't even remember that they were fruit gushers. Yeah.
Gentle reminder.
Guys, we'll probably be doing the hobby critter hang. Yeah, I'm probably gonna keep painting these tonight because I gotta have all these ready by Saturday. But yeah, thank you for coming out to this. I'm glad that we got this one in the books. Once a gusher, always a gusher.
Is there the juice inside?
Yeah,
Yeah.
gushers are the ones where they because they gush.
Sometimes the translucent resin like doesn't cure well, so it's like hard on the inside and like still liquidy on the inside.
Mm.
So it's a
Need a
good
cleric. Thanks for coming to the hobby hang, everybody. Thank you. This is probably the only time it's going to look like this, because if we do it in the office again, I probably will have figured out how to do it better now that we've had this this trial and error run. Because I'm already thinking about things. I'm like, yeah, we should do this with the overlays and all that jazz.
Yeah.
The hardest part is definitely just the whole trying to get everybody on 2 cameras and not having somebody whose dedicated job is to operate the cameras is rough.
Yeah.
So we'll have to think on that. Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a good night.
See ya.